Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of the In From Japan podcast. As always, I'm your host, Erroll Maas, with my co-host, the phenomenon from Suriname, Jason Courtar.
Hey, hey.
And today we have our very first guest, Nicole Bee.
Hi everybody, my name is Nicole Bee. I am a Nintendo variety streamer on Twitch. I'm also a cosplayer and I love Animal Crossing. And that's why I'm here today, to talk to everybody about Animal Crossing New Horizons. Thanks for having me on the show, you guys.
Yeah, anytime.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be our main topic, but for now we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been playing recently besides Animal Crossing. So I've been playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Evolution update, or wait, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution update. Oh my god.
There's a long title.
Yeah.
So
In addition to getting a big update on the Nintendo Switch version, the full game is also now available on Steam, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I'm not sure if it runs better on those systems, but cause I still have problems with slowdown and it crashes every once in a while. But otherwise, it's an okay if you want a recent Yu-Gi-Oh game. It's decent. And then the new campaign, there's over 1,000 new cards they added to a library of already over 9,000. It's pretty insane. And they updated the Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns campaign. To have, I believe, most of the duels from the series, and then the 5Ds campaign, they added one duel really weirdly. I just noticed that this morning. I looked at campaign progress, and for Reigns it was down to 10% or something, but for 5Ds it was 98% complete, and I was like, wait, what? And so they just added one final little thing in that one for some reason.
So
Well, are you in? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I haven't played this game before. Is it pretty story driven? Is it you're following through the Yu-Gi-Oh story,
No,
or is it mostly just?
I mean, it does go through the anime series, but they miss a couple duels, or they summarize a few of them, which is kind of annoying.
Okay.
But yeah, so with the Vrains, they have newer cards, and so in the older story, it was kind of bad to use the story decks because, even back then, the character decks weren't very good. They were just to be more flashy for the show. But in this one, it's actually in the Vrains campaign, it's better to use the story decks because most of your decks are going to be outdated already, until you get some new cards and update your older decks.
But are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's a nice little. I love to pick up and play it in the morning, have a duel or two, and then just kind of to get my brain going. It's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that the booster packs, they don't have the 3-card limit that they used to, so you could be getting a lot of the same card when you really don't need it. But otherwise it's pretty fun. So I'll be getting through that a little more. I've been playing a little bit of Pokemon Sword, just checking for some Gigantamax stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't really. I caught. What did I? No, I didn't catch it. I fought against a Gigantamax Grimmsnarl,
Ooh.
and even with the AI, we still managed to beat it, but it didn't get caught.
Ah, it's a bummer. Grimmsnarl's a beast. I remember when the game first came out, that was the Pokemon to have.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I guess he was he was the oh gosh, how do you say? He was I guess pretty overpowered in the beginning, which I don't know.
Oh.
He looks kind of terrifying.
Yeah. So what have you guys been playing?
Well, Nicole, you can go ahead and
Oh shit.
give your deets
But
on.
besides Animal Crossing,
Besides Animal Crossing, okay,
That's gonna be
so
tough.
oof. Okay, so well, leading up to playing New Horizons, on stream we had been playing New Leaf. We've been playing New Leaf for several months, and I've been playing New Leaf for 7.5 years, I guess, since the game
Whoa.
launched. So it's been pretty fun. We started a new town on stream. We, took some time to say goodbye to those villagers leading up to New Horizons, and that was
No.
good. It was also really emotional. It's sad. You really get to know your villagers. You really grow attached to them. We also played through Happy Home Designer, and Happy Home Designer is a spin-off game of Animal Crossing. And it's a lot of fun. It's not like the normal tasks that you get to do with Animal Crossing villagers. You really get to get different dialogue with them, and you build their house and meet their needs. So it's fun. It's a different side to Animal Crossing, but we played that. Besides that, though, I started playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I'm loving it, and I just don't have enough hours in the day to juggle that and New Horizons now, but it's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's like everything I needed in a new Fire Emblem game.
It's also the game that never ends.
Oh, amen to that. Oh gosh. Even just one route through
Yeah.
is going to take a long time to go through. There's so many
I'm
details.
still like, I'm not even halfway done with my first route yet.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure you put so many hours into it already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I myself have put about 55 hours into it, and I'm
Dang.
nowhere near done. I took the Blue Lions route.
The best route.
Yeah,
The best
with
route.
the best boy.
Yes,
Um,
it's so true. He's a handsome prince. He's so good though. You just want to protect
Wrong.
him.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean,
No.
like in the group chat on Discord, we were going on about, or was it Twitter? Like we were going on about who we were going to choose, and I was really sold on Dimitri saying, "I need your help," and I'm like,
Oh.
"Oh, it's an
Oh.
easy choice.
Oh,
Easy choice."
absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm really excited to play the other routes because I'm only just touching on this game, so I'm playing my first route. But like like it's so easy. Like you start to play it and you're like, okay, so Edelgard is evil, and I really like Dimitri, and I'm like, the other guy, I'll play it eventually. But like, I'm excited. I really like it so far, and you just grow attached to all the characters, and you really just want. I don't know. You just want to see it through and do its best for them, even if they're not in your house. Like I'm like so committed to befriending everyone and like having them join me.
Yeah. Every battle
The
is
other
me
guy,
going on
excuse me,
in my
his
head.
name is
Please don't
Claude,
die."
thank you.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
The leader of the Golden Deer.
Are you for Golden Deers?
Well, I mean, they definitely have the prettiest boy, but not the best boy.
It's true. It's true. We must protect Dimitri. Yeah, but Fire Emblem is wonderful, and I'm really enjoying it. I just, trying to find that time between that and Animal Crossing New Horizons is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
What have you
I-
been
I-
playing?
Sure.
I'm in the same boat. Like I've been playing Animal Crossing's New Horizon. I just got it today.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic because it was kind of touch and go for a bit because there were problems with my bank and my credit card.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
And that got all cleared up by today.
Good.
Which is interesting because in the lead up to New Horizons, I was gonna play Pocket Camp, which I've never touched before, and like, oof, I, I barely spent 10 minutes in that game because I had other stuff to do, but I'm probably gonna be juggling the both of them. Um, and besides that, I've been playing Pokemon Shield again. I just got my 8th and final badge.
I'm so
So,
proud.
yeah, finally, after months. So now I'm en route to become the best that no one ever was. Um, so, yeah, hopefully not in the next few months, but very soon.
Oh, you'll have it in the bank. Like just,
Yeah.
especially in time with the expansion coming out too. You have plenty of time to be able to.
Yeah.
So exciting. There's actually quite a bit of content after you beat the 8th gym leader too.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to grinding out for shiny Pokemon and Gigantamaxing other stuff and raid battles. It's just there's a lot. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, you should try to get a shiny Rookity.
Oh no, stop it.
Well,
No, we don't talk about this
I'll,
foul
I'll
little
I'll
bird.
say it on a podcast. If I find a shiny Rookity, I'll send it to Nicole.
Oh no, 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 take
Good.
it. Take it, because
No,
a shiny
no.
Corviknight is amazing.
Like
I will get my shiny and we'll have twin shinies. It'll be great.
sure, sure.
But thank you.
I'm trying to hatch a shiny Pichu right now
Oh, nice.
because
I think it's a
I
slight
didn't
color
realize my
variant, right?
yeah, because I didn't realize my my Let's Go file it had a Japanese Pikachu on it.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, okay, well I'll put that in and then we'll see what happens.
I was very
How-
fortunate.
Because I don't have a
Oh, you don't have a
foreign
Ditto?
Ditto.
I
Yeah.
got really fortunate. When I first started streaming it, somebody gifted me a foreign Ditto, and so I have it. I just haven't done any Masuda method yet. Not in this game, but in past games I have.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever gotten a shiny from hatching. I think I've only gotten them from giveaways or from fishing chains.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's not true. There was one shiny Luminion that I got in Pokemon Sun. I just randomly came across.
Oh, those are the best ones, though. I love that. What did I get?
Yeah.
My very first shiny that I could remember, I think I got it just through Wonder Trade, and it was a shiny Tangela.
That's pretty
Just
cool.
totally unexpected. Yeah, it's really cool. It's like green looking. It's very
I
unexpected.
like those. I really don't like when well, Pikachu's an exception. There are some exceptions, but when the color is just barely different, like the example usually used is Gengar.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm so
You can
worried that
barely
if
tell
I
the
were like,
difference.
I'm so worried like if I was like going after the shiny, I would click past it, like not noticing that the variant was there.
Yeah.
It's got to be something really obvious. So, oh, that'd be such a bummer. I've seen people who lose shinies though. They just, aren't paying attention or clicking too fast or it's been
Yeah.
too monotonous.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart breaks for them.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on to the next section, the In From Japan J list. We usually talk about video game, movie, and TV impressions and news. We don't have any impressions this week, but we have a little bit of news. So we have our first story in this section is a new Ultraman series is coming out. This is relevant because we talked about Project GG a couple times on the podcast. That is
Yeah.
obviously Ultraman inspired.
Do you know if this Ultraman show is going to be live action or CG like the one on Netflix?
I don't know why my browser's.
See if I can pull it up.
Ultraman is usually live action.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a live action one. I don't know why
Okay.
this story is not loading for me.
Well, it's probably just a heavy scripted site.
I'm not sure why.
But it's by Yasin Bulan for the Tokusatsu Network. Suburaya Productions reveal new TV series Ultraman Z. Well, it just goes over the details. It shows a couple of stills of the new suits, and the series will follow
He's Canadian.
Ultraman Z, a member of the Intergalactic Defense Force and an admirer of Ultraman Zero. Zed moves forward with the passion inherited from his mentor Zero. And then you have the description of the story and the character description. So, yeah.
Hang on,
That's
I'm
right.
trying to figure out what's going on with my internet right now because none of my links are opening.
Oh boy. Should I just go ahead
Oh,
then?
here. Oh, here we go. Now it's working.
Okay.
I got this next one. Yeah, so sorry about that you had to take over for that. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that site specifically was being weird. Okay, Ultraman Z. Yeah, so I just thought it was funny because doesn't the Z look a little familiar
Not really,
With-
not to me.
with the angles? No?
The character in the
No.
front? I just think of Doctor Who immediately looks like a
No, no,
Cyberman.
no, the Z in the logo. The Z
Oh.
in the logo.
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just with
yeah,
some of the
yeah, right
angles
on.
on it.
So just Ultraman kind of looks like Netflix.
What?
The font kind
Yeah.
of does.
Kind
Squished.
of.
Oh. Well, there is an Ultraman series on Netflix.
Oh, right on.
So maybe that's why.
The Ultraman anime is great, and I highly recommend it. I don't know if I recommend the sub or the dub, because the dub is good except for the main guy.
It's a
Well,
bummer.
I'll just check the subs for you
And you
and
know
give you
who
my.
the main guy is voiced by?
Who?
Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh. Huh.
He's not a good voice actor, and then he's surrounded by like actual veteran voice actors like Christina V and Steve Bloom and people like that. So
Really
everybody else is
established
good,
in
and he's just, yeah.
Aw, well, he tried. He
I'm
tried.
sure he did his best.
Branching out. Proud of
It's
him.
it's kind of like Netflix was like, oh, we got to get a famous actual actor for this anime, and they got Josh Hutcherson because he's on that Hulu show or whatever.
Oh, they've got Christina V, though. They would have been fine.
Yeah, Christina V is great. Next story is G-Kids nabs Lupin the First for U.S. It says theatrical release, but with the state of the world right now, I'm guessing it could more likely be a digital release. I could see it coming to Netflix because it's by the same animation studio who animated the Dragon Quest Your Story movie that's on Netflix.
Which was a great. Yeah, I think it was a great movie.
Yeah, the visuals were amazing. Like I'm glad to see this studio doing more like big properties, and I'm glad we're getting an English version.
Oh, this article did come
No
out
dub.
yesterday. They do look like, oh, I mean today actually, 9 hours ago. So maybe they're optimistic. When is it supposed to set for release?
It says no dubcast has been confirmed yet. There's going to be both subbed and dubbed versions. More information on the theatrical release will forthcoming from the G-Kids Films Twitter account. Yeah, there's no. It's just that they got the rights.
Cool. That's super exciting.
Oh yeah, because they don't even say like this year. So oh no, they do say plan for 2020.
Yeah. So, a lot can change. A lot changes every day, so we can remain optimistic. But yeah, realistically, though, we might be looking for a Netflix release. It looks great, though. The trailer was amazing.
The way they mix their more detailed style with the Lupin style is great.
Oh, I like it. There's a lot of attitude. Just everything. It looks great. The textures look really good, too. The animation's nice.
Yeah, and if you're hungry for some more Lupin the Third, there's a Lupin the Third movie on Netflix right now. Or no, wait,
Yeah,
for everyone
yeah,
outside
Castle,
of the U.S.
yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
No? No, there's one available on U.S. Netflix too. I just watched it this past Saturday, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Oh, heck yeah.
Or weeks ago. You're talking about Castle of Cagliostro, right?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I think it's still on Netflix. I watched it a week or two ago, finally.
Oh, perfect. I'll have to check that out. Thank you.
I believe it was directed by Hayao Miyazaki?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was one of
yes,
his
it
earlier
is.
works.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one of the very few Miyazaki movies that I have not seen. So that's really cool that it's on Netflix.
It's
I know they were starting
Yeah.
to put a lot of Studio Ghibli on Netflix, but it really did say just outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because I think in the U.S. we get them on HBO Max
yeah, I read that
whenever
too.
that comes out. And then so I'm really excited for that. Moving on to the next story in the J-list section, which I just thought was insanely interesting, is that like drive-in movie theaters are getting more popular now because since all the other movie theaters are closed and the people are apart because they're separated by their cars. so more people are going to these
I
drive-ins.
didn't think that there were many drive-ins open anymore. That's really interesting. I mean, I guess if you're stuck to your car, that's still kind of social distancing. As long as you're bringing
I mean,
just your
yeah.
household that you're quarantined with to your vehicle.
Have any of you ever been to a drive-in? Because I've never been.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Yeah, I absolutely have. I used to do that a lot when I was little. I grew up a little
No.
bit outside of Seattle area, and gosh, I remember the first drive-in movie I went to. I think I saw Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh my god.
And the most
Which is my
recent.
favorite Disney movie.
Oh, it's such a good movie. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I think I
That's
saw
an
Hercules
interesting
also in a
favorite.
drive-in. The most recent one though I saw was Iron Man 2. That's what I saw in drive-in.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never been to a drive-in. I think the ones here we have like 2 here that are both really far away from where I am, so I've just never gone.
They're pretty fun.
Oh.
They're pretty fun. I don't know, it's kind of relaxing, especially in the summer, and if there's good weather and you can just hang out in the back of your car or kind of hang out under the stars. It's kind of like camping. It's like a camping movie watching fusion. It's fun. You just
Yeah.
have to get lucky and make sure that you can hear the audio, because sometimes like they put it through the radio. A lot of the time they'll play it through the radio. And if I don't know, sometimes it's kind of hard to hear it, but if you're with a good group of friends, it's a good time. But I'm pretty sure the last one in Washington State closed down a couple years ago. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool that
wow.
there's still some open.
They
Okay,
might
so
be making a comeback.
That means I have to book a ticket to the US and sit there after the apocalypse passes through.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, eventually.
Because I don't want to let this pass
Yeah,
by.
yeah. Yeah, I think there are more drive-ins on the East Coast. No, I feel like there are more drive-ins on the East Coast. I don't know.
That's so
Like
interesting.
My stereotypical idea of a drive-in is somewhere in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why my head defaults to Kansas. Because,
It should default to like Wisconsin
yeah,
and
it
like the 1950s.
yeah, it just fits.
This is really silly, but I immediately think of this episode of Adventure Time.
Uh-huh.
And I think Finn's trying to get Marceline or he's trying to get Princess Bubblegum to go with him to the movies. But he ends up going with Marceline, and they go to the drive-in movie, and somebody crashes through the screen and gets torn and ruins the movie.
Oh no.
But it's cute. It was a good episode. But yeah, they go to a drive-in movie, and I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that term in a long time.
All right. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that continues. So our next section is the recommended reading, watching, and listening list, which we always put in the description on our various podcast services. So we have 5 Lego Nintendo sets I would like to see become real by Michael Ruiz over at DualShockers. Bubble Bobble for Friends is for friends, and right now that's a problem by Graham Russell at Siliconera. War of the Visions is probably the closest we'll get to a Final Fantasy Tactics sequel by Mike Williams, US Gamer. Capcom on bringing Shinsekai into the depths to Switch by Anthony Dickens, Nintendo Life. The Bravely Default 2 demo wants to drink your blood and eat your bones by Nadia Oxford.
Oh my god, I
US
gotta play
Gamer.
it now. What a title.
Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers devs discuss music and sound in new video by Giuseppe Nelva over at Twinfinite. And Dark Clouds Ahead, a level 5 retrospective part 3 by me over at
Right
Parallax
on.
Media.
The one and only.
Hey, we know him.
So we finally finished my level 5 retrospective. I actually need to go back and update part 2 with a paragraph, and that should be updated by the time this podcast comes out, because I just need to copy and paste it. But yeah, check that out.
Absolutely.
Well, check all of them out, but you know.
Absolutely. I already kind of took a peek at the Lego sets, and one of them mentions build your own Animal Crossing town. and I love that.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
great.
that'd be so much fun.
Well, we lost Nicole. She is lost to the Animal Crossing Lego set.
Bye, guys. It's nice
She's
knowing
lost to
you.
Tom
See you
Nook.
later.
Lego. She's lost to Lego Tom Nook.
All right, Lego, guys.
Yeah, Lego. Uh,
All right. So next section, we're time to talk about the news from the past week. Um.
yeah. So do
Oh,
you
and
want me to
like,
go through
uh,
the bad
hold
news?
on, hold on. Just so you know, Nicole, we have. Oh no, you've listened to it. We have little sound effects for like the news and the for each not each section,
Oh, sure.
but
Yeah. So there's
the
better
J list and
transitions.
the news rundown. Yeah, we have little things. So it's not like it feels kind of weird just saying it and then not having that, not having like a stream deck or something to play it.
Oh, it's
Um,
okay. It's all good. It's all good.
but yeah, it just feels weird to me. Um, but
It'll feel really
yeah.
polished.
So, Jason, if you want to take the
Okay.
you said you wanted to take the bad news.
Yeah, without further ado, the bad news. Sony is slowing game download speeds in Europe and in some US cities in an effort to help with internet stability, as reported by Eden Gach for Kotaku. Um, and it just delves into the fact that Sony is working together with ISPs to slow down internet speeds or download speeds so that the bandwidth can be preserved for more essential things, is the idea. Um, in a post, Jim Ryan, CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, says, "We believe it is important to do our part to address internet stability concerns as an unprecedented number of people are practicing social distancing and are becoming more reliant on internet access.
About time.
Players may, yeah, players may experience somewhat slower or delayed game downloads, but will still enjoy robust gameplay." Which is a bummer if you were set on downloading that gigantic game you have in your library, like say Assassin's Creed
Final
Odyssey
Fantasy VII remake.
Oof.
or Red Dead Redemption 2. So that might put a damper on things, but it's all in an effort to preserve the global internet infrastructure. So
Better to have it slow down than to completely shut down.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
I think people will riot once the internet completely disappears. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Hmm.
Okay,
At least we have a
moving
little bit
on.
of time before Final Fantasy VII comes out. So I
Yeah,
think we're sitting right at
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. Just about.
yeah, just about. And to continue, Sony also slowing PlayStation download speeds in the US, as I said. This is reported by Brianna Reeves for PlayStation Lifestyle. And it's more or less the same measures as they're taking in Europe. Jim Ryan once again saying, "Beginning today, we will take similar measures in the United States, and we will continue to take appropriate action to do our part to help ensure internet stability as this unprecedented situation continues to evolve." So, kind of the same thing he just said in the European press release. So, people in the US will be experiencing slower download speeds as well. Um,
I'm just trying to do stuff more late at night because my internet will be working better because like one, everybody else is asleep, and then like I usually get a better internet connection late at night anyway, so I'm just becoming nocturnal slowly.
yeah, which is also kind of a big deal for people who have data caps, because I imagine if you have data caps and you're trying to make the best of it, and you can't download your big game or stream your big game, it'll be kind of a big letdown during
Oh
these
yeah.
trying times. And also Netflix is also lowering its bandwidth. YouTube is also lowering its bandwidth so that people will,
Just the default bandwidth though, right, for YouTube?
yeah, yeah. So you're gonna have more streams in standard definition than in HD. Um,
Although you can change it, it's just gonna take a while to load,
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
that's the idea, but for default, it's gonna be standard definition. Moving on, Nintendo Switch Repair Center closes amid coronavirus pandemic. This is reported by Alex Gibson for Twinfinite. In a statement over on its official website, Nintendo explains, due to preventive measures put in place for the COVID-19 coronavirus and in accordance with federal and local guidelines, our repair centers are closed until further notice. So, if you have a Joy-Con drifting problem or a Switch that's cracked, bad news, guys, because you're gonna have to wait a while till everything goes back full steam. So, I don't know. Bust out that old board game, dust
Mm-hmm.
off that book you've been meaning to read, because this is gonna take a while,
Watch some movies and TV shows. Watch
basically.
anime.
Yeah, watch
There we
anime.
go. Always a good solution.
Yeah. And next up, we have Portland Retro Gaming Expo canceled. Classic Tetris World Championship in limbo. This is reported by
This is a weird one. Yeah.
Kia for Shack News, and it's being reported that it's with a heavy heart that we must announce that the 2020 Portland Retro Gaming Expo is canceled due to uncertainties associated with the coronavirus pandemic. And then it goes on
Yeah.
and on about basically the same thing we just discussed. So yeah, more cancellations. And
So I wanted to.
mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
I put the story in because like I usually go to events and I have all these things getting canceled, like GDC that I was supposed to take a trip to, and then that got canceled, and then E3. Anime Expo hasn't been canceled yet, but I'm guessing it will be. Um, and then Portland, the Retro Gaming Expo, I feel like is the furthest thing out that I've seen canceled because it's in
Yes,
August.
it's not until October, August, October.
No,
I think they
August.
pushed it up this
August.
year.
I'm Because it was going to be. It says on the website that uh on the retro. It says it was going to be August 14th to the 16th, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So that just makes me wonder if they're gonna cancel PAX West this year too, or if PAX is still waiting.
I know, even TwitchCon is kind of up in the air too,
Yeah.
especially after
And
they
that would
did.
be really, yeah, because TwitchCon is where I'm at, and that would mean they might also cancel the Final Fantasy 14 Fan Fest that's supposed to be here around that time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Everyone's being hit
Again,
hard by this outbreak.
we have to
No.
see how things are by then. See how things change. Um, um, so maybe some people are just kind of waiting to see how certain things turn out first.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I know for
Well,
a lot
I'm
of
not trying to
events
be
like
like,
Emerald City Comic Con and like Sakura Con, they're both
yeah,
Seattle conventions. They waited really like up until the last minute to cancel a note that had to do with like a lot with like insurance, and unfortunately it
yeah,
put out a lot of vendors and artists who were set, they make a lot of their
yeah,
livelihood by going to those conventions, so that really directly impacted them. But I feel like on the flip side, with Portland Retro canceling so early, maybe that gives those vendors a shot to book for another location or make plans that they can sell something online, or even with like the classic Tetris World Championship that was supposed to be set, now they can find a place for that venue, another place for it, a different hosting. I think they're really being so close to Seattle, which was one of the considered epicenters of COVID-19.
mhm,
It is really close, and they're next to an international airport, so
yeah,
it's really a bummer, but man, erring on the side of caution, I completely understand it right now.
yeah,
well, fingers crossed. We'll be back up and running with the conventions and the fan gathering soon enough. Uh,
yeah. Let's
uh,
hope so.
yeah,
We all
and the
know how fast con plague travels, so it's we understand.
better safe than sorry.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, So in the last bit of bad news, GameStop closed.
Not really bad, but
Ish.
Bad, bad
eh,
for big business.
Yes.
GameStop is closing to customers running limited businesses, or limited business by Lucas White, as reported in Silicon Era. GameStop found itself in the sights of reporters, people, and even some local governments over the past few days. Earlier this week, an internal memo revealed that amid statewide shutdowns, GameSpot was claiming essential retail status to stay open and keep employees working. Operations were changing to meet CDC guidelines, but that didn't stop the story from going viral. Heh, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good point.
yeah.
GameStop then back to closing its
Jeez.
stores in California. After that, social media posts suggested GameStop's business license was temporarily suspended in Pennsylvania, another full lockdown state. Late yesterday, GameStop, sorry, finally backed out entirely. It happened. It finally happened. I'm so sorry. GameStop finally backed out entirely, producing a press release announcing all GameStop stores will be closed to customers for the time being. Uh, finally, um, good news because yeah, it was kind of a crappy situation. But yeah, as a lot of people have been noting on Twitter, it's probably just death knell. Like the last few actions you you enact before you finally kick the bucket, and GameStop was not doing so hot, and now this virus hit everyone, and they're doing even worse now. So, yay! Um, but yeah, it's a good thing that they're closing up shop, and yeah, hopefully this doesn't affect them and those that are employed too much or for too long.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because like my local GameStops in the past couple years, I've had nothing but positive experiences. But I know it's more of a corporate level thing that's all this stuff is getting just I don't even know what to say at this point.
Honestly,
So
it's
many
it's
people have been
sad
talking about.
overall. Like, I feel for the employees right now. It was kind of a bummer both ways, you know. Like the longer the store stays open, the more at risk your employees are for getting sick as well.
Yeah,
So you know them fighting. Like I understand, like big business keeping open because they're having difficulty as is, but also those are real people who are also going to be without work and having to file for unemployment
yeah,
and keep those struggles. So like right now, I'm really thankful that I have my job, but because I work in medical, but you know, I could lose it any second, and that's terrifying. So I feel for them trying to fight for keeping those workers having their jobs,
yeah.
but at the same time, this is a real crisis, and it's going to be
It's
sad to see what happens the next couple months of the aftermath to not just GameStop but other businesses too.
uh-huh, yeah. It's also hard when like two of the biggest games of the year are released in the middle of all this.
Yeah. I definitely did cancel my physical pre-order. I was going to pick it up at GameStop, but then I ended up switching to digital. Sorry, GameStop. But, you know, I wasn't
I
sure. Were they going to have it open? And I wanted to have it right when it came out. And everything was really up in the air. So have to make those choices.
Yeah.
I so you were planning on getting the
Yeah.
physical? Cause for Animal Crossing, I always feel like it's better to get digital because you don't have to switch out the cartridge, and since it's a daily thing.
Oh, well, at
Uh,
this, I mean, that's fair. I guess in the past with like New Leaf, I have 5 different cartridges. Cause
Whoa.
oh my
so,
Whoa.
she's just collecting every single one that exists.
well, it's all New Leaf. I have 5 different copies of New Leaf. So I have different towns. So with it, the game file actually saved onto the cartridge. With this, it saves directly to the system.
Yeah,
So it really doesn't matter if you have a physical
yeah,
versus a
it's a little
digital
different.
download. The only thing is, I collect all of the copies of it, so it's kind of a bummer not having that, you know, game case on the shelf. So
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can just like later on, when things are a little better, you could probably just order the box itself, so you can like have a box on display or like and then you have
That's
like all
true,
those
it's
fan
true.
artists with cool art that you could put on it.
Yeah, I mean, I also do have a Switch Lite, so I might make a second town eventually and just buy the game again.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I was like
Yeah.
playing, and not to dive too much Animal Crossing, but I was like making like theme towns. So it's fun having a secondary town. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know it's a bummer. It's gonna be really sad to see the next couple months with a lot of businesses. I was really excited to see that Reggie was added to the GameStop board of directors, and that's kind of a bummer
Yeah,
that.
but he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't going to be starting until April 20, or he isn't starting. Like GameStop's still around. They're just not doing business right now. But he's not starting until April 20th, I believe.
Mm. Well, hopefully that's enough. Hopefully that won't impact the business too badly, and we'll be able to see what magic the Reginator can create.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Well, that's all the bad news for this week. Um, Errol, take it away with the lighter side of the force.
Yeah, give us some happy news.
Um. I don't have any.
Oh
No, I'm just kidding.
no! No. Is this where we talk about
Um,
Animal Crossing? Because that's happy.
no.
Shucks. Here we go.
So a first story, and it's not. See it hasn't been getting a lot of attention on like a lot of the gaming podcasts I listen to, maybe because they don't know that much about it. But this is a story on Silicon Era by Sato. Sega introduces 60th anniversary ambassador Sega Shiro, portrayed by Segata Santaro's actor's son. So, in case you don't know, Segata Sanchiro was this like, at least the character was this Japanese martial artist, like pretty much superhero guy, who would get people to
Mm-hmm.
get to like play Sega systems, and also I feel like he also like in the commercials, I think he also died saving the world from an asteroid or something.
Oh my
He
gosh.
was basically their brand ambassador.
Yeah, Sega Saturn mascot. Yeah, Sega Shiro, portrayed by Segata Sanshiro actor Hiroshi Fujioka's eldest son, Maito Fujioka. Segata Sanshiro was a martial artist mascot who commanded people to play Sega Saturn in various ads for Sega. His catchphrase, Sega Saturn Shiro, means play Sega
I
Saturn.
love that. So now his son is taking over?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yes.
that's beautiful.
and I've seen
Unlike
the ad and it's pretty funny.
Unlike Segata Sanchiro's aggressive approach to getting people to play the Sega Saturn, the son is here to have people learn about Sega. Instead of commanding people to play Sega, he goes around telling people about Sega.
Oh, nice.
Well, because Sega owns a lot of because they own a lot of IPs now. You know, they own
Persona.
Atlas, so
Yeah.
they own Persona and Shin Megami Tensei and all that. They Sonic the Hedgehog, of course.
Hmm.
I can't think of Valkyria Chronicles,
Yakuza.
Yakuza, yeah. So just a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also they have a bunch of arcades in Japan.
Yeah, their IP catalog is insanely big. So yeah, pretty. Yeah, they've been around the block and they're an established thing. So I'm happy to see them still kicking about, and this is fun. But I was kind of bummed that it wasn't a bigger announcement.
Like a game thing.
Yeah,
Like a
I wasn't expecting a new console or anything, but like
no.
I don't know what screams Sega, and at this point it's probably just Sonic. And
Sonic and Yakuza and Persona, but we already got announcements for all of those.
yeah, so I was thinking, okay, well, going off the silhouette, I was thinking, is this maybe a new Virtua Fighter entry? But yeah, no, it's just a fun ad. But oh well.
It's cute and nostalgic for those diehard fans who
Yeah.
would remember
Yeah.
him. That's really cute, actually. I want to go back and like watch the original and compare it to with his son.
Oh, it's night and
I'm sure there's a compilation on YouTube somewhere.
There's gotta be. There's gotta be.
There's definitely a compilation
Yeah.
on YouTube somewhere. So next story is from this is the overwhelming majority of PS4 library will be playable on PS5. Sony Interactive Entertainment confirms. This is from Sal Romano over at Gamatsu. So last week during like the Mark Cerny PS5 technical presentation, which a lot of people didn't receive that well because it was a GDC talk that was streamed and people didn't realize it was more developer focused than consumer focused.
Yeah.
But I still stayed for it to listen to Mark Cerny's nice soft
ASMR
voice because oh my god. Like Nicole, have you heard about this? If you have trouble sleeping, you should listen to this this guy.
I might have to do that. Thanks for the tip. I wonder if
And
he
he's also
knows.
just super. He's also super smart, so it's just like you feel intelligent while you're. It's like a. He seems like a. It's like Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers mixed with like Bill Nye or something. I don't know.
My God, sounds like a superhero.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But yeah, it is a more clarification of an earlier statement made during the presentation because Mark Cerny said they've tested the top 100 most played PS4 games for backwards compatibility, and at that point it seemed like backwards compatibility was only guaranteed for those 100 games, and then Sony put out another press release saying, "Oh no, the overwhelming majority of the library will be playable." But the thing is, as I've read, is that the specs for the PS5 are actually so much more powerful that it's kind of difficult to make sure that some games are backwards compatible, because you have to kind of fit everything into a whole new architecture, and that takes some time. So they're probably doing it on a case-by-case basis. Like theoretically, everything should be playable because it's embedded into the architecture, but because of the power of the hardware, it's going to take a little more time to make sure that everything's compatible.
I remember when they first were talking about the PlayStation 5 that it's rumors were that every game from the PlayStation library were going to work for it. It sounded like a super console.
So that's a thing that really there was something that really bothered me about that presentation. So they had this graphic that said like backwards compatibility, and it said PlayStation 5, then it said PlayStation 4 Pro, then it said PlayStation 4, and then on the bottom in this little like weird rhombus shape that had all those logos, it had it had a couple empty spaces, but nothing was there, and it was really annoying.
Erroll.
Yes, because it's like there was room. Yeah, I'm like, did they just not like they could have spread out the logos more, or they could have like not used that shape? Like, why do you have room for 2 or 3 more logos there if you're not doing backwards compatibility? Very annoying.
Maybe a tease of things to come. Maybe.
Like honestly, if they had like PS1 and PS2 classics again, like on PS3, I'd be fine with that. Because PS2 on PS4 is barely anything.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Okay, so I'll take the next one. A report is saying that multiple devs are working on next-gen consoles, and they say that the PS5 is superior in many ways, as reported by Zarmina Khan for the PlayStation Lifestyle website. Following Mark Cerny's presentation detailing the PlayStation 5's technical specifications, an intense debate ensued over the console being underpowered compared to the Xbox Series X. Many developers opined on Twitter that fans were caught up in numbers and specs that they didn't understand. Try and not take it personally. And that, from a developer's point of view, the PS5 is revolutionary. Kotaku's Jason Schreier has revealed in his latest split-screen podcast. Okay, it's not his podcast, he's just one of the hosts, but I digress. That he's heard from multiple developers working on next gen consoles that the PS5 is actually superior to the Xbox Series X in ways that Sony can't exactly disclose right now. The developers are reportedly of the view that the PS5 is a beast, and it's a shame that Sony is unable to talk more about the console's capabilities at the moment. So Errol and I briefly discussed this last week, and I was citing a Kotaku article that said that the Xbox Series X is more of a berserker class, and the PS5 is more of a stealth roguish class because it's on paper maybe not as powerful, but skill wise is able to do a whole lot more than the Xbox Series X. And I've seen a lot of devs chiming in over the last few weeks or last week or so, um, saying how powerful the solid state drive is for the PlayStation 5 and the whole architecture, and it allows them to do a whole lot more that was previously not possible. So I'm guessing we're looking at revolutionary things, whereas previously we thought this was just going to be a hardware bump. Um, but I'm guessing they have more surprises in store.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess again, just only time will
Um,
tell.
I
So
I,
excited about it though.
I did I ever tell you the story that my dad used to. This is kind of a tangent, but it is relevant. So like, I'd be playing like PS2 with one of my friends in like elementary school, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I have the he's like, "Yeah, I have the PlayStation 5. The characters come out and fight you." Like, Dad, stop. Like, Dad, shut up.
Well, with VR,
Stop
they
being
are.
weird.
Maybe one day.
That's so good though.
Uh, um,
Okay,
yeah.
next story. Sony wants the PS5 to be as easy to use as Netflix, integrating game features in the console dashboard, as reported by Chandler Wood for PlayStation Lifestyle. Yesterday, a patent was discovered that teased some possible features of the PS5 OS, including the ability to set certain dynamic templates for where you want a game to open up, and more thoroughly integrating features of the game directly onto the console's dashboard. More details have come to light, indicating that Sony wants the PS5 dashboard to be as easy to use as Netflix. Kotaku's Jason Schreier again revealed this on the Reset Era thread detailing the aforementioned patent. He said that one of the things he's heard regarding Sony's pitch about the PS5 to developers is that playing a PS5 game should be as easy as Netflix. Schreier indicates that the goal is to incentivize more players to start up their console for short play sessions by providing clear information and paths for specific tasks, knowing exactly how much time is given or a given activity is going to take. Um, so basically, they want to increase the ease of use, and with a solid state drive, it's going to be pretty instantaneous, from starting a game to playing a game. No more waiting around making a sandwich or grabbing a beer before you can load in the world. But yeah, just like snap of a finger, then you'll be in the game world enjoying yourself, and they want to make it easier to see what your goals would be,
So it's basically a snap of the Infinity Gauntlet
basically.
when you're repopulating.
Less
Yeah,
destruction.
yeah, less destruction
More
hopefully.
games.
No, the opposite, like the repopulating snap.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
well, yeah, that, and they just want to give you more information or more useful information. Like when I start up Netflix, I can see at a glance what I've been watching, where I left off, um, and I can pretty much continue immediately. And they want to make gaming feel like that, so that people don't start up the consoles, play for a few hours, and then put it down, but more like short bursts. Like play now, okay. I put down the controller, do whatever, and come back and immediately continue, etc., etc. And we've also seen with Xbox detailing their plans where you can have games saved up into the system memory for such a long time that even after a restart and a reboot or whatever, that the game will still instantaneously load. So the future is looking pretty bright.
Absolutely.
Well,
Oh, I like the idea of that.
whenever we get these consoles, which could be delayed because of everything going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
It sounds like they'll be well
How-
worth the wait, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. No, it might be good because then they can work out some of the kinks out, and then maybe they'll end up even better. Who knows?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I think I've already seen. I'm experiencing that with Animal Crossing as a game that had been delayed. Well worth the
Oh,
wait.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Although
a
it has
delayed
its
game is
problems.
essentially a lot better than something that comes out immediately.
Exactly, but a bad
Yeah.
game is bad forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take
Okay.
this next story. I'll take this next story.
Sure.
So, Silent Hill reboot rumors have been rejected by Konami. Konami says the Silent Hill series is still alive, but the recent rumors aren't true. This is by Merdad Kai. Oh my god, I'm gonna butcher this name so bad.
You got this.
I believe.
Merdad Kayat? I don't know if that's how it's spelled, so I don't know. Over at DualShockers?
Midrat Kayat, I guess. Mirdat
Sure.
Kayat.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I don't. Moving on. If I'm, look. I know it wasn't as bad as Greg Miller, so that's that's my bar. Okay.
Okay.
Um, if you were hoping that those recent rumors of Sony and Konami looking to revive the Silent Hill series were true, I'm sorry to tell you that it won't be happening, at least not according to Konami's North America PR representative. It has now officially made clear that the rumors around an upcoming Silent Hill reboot are completely fake, but where did the rumors stem from? There was hope for a revival, Konami kept making Metal Gear games. Now, what they didn't say was they didn't say Sony wasn't working on getting some Metal Gear games like those rumors we talked about last week.
Well, I think it's kind of safe to say that
It's just implied.
doing that. Yeah.
While the response completely rejects all rumors, it does reveal that the franchise is still alive and it may come back sometime in the future. Because there are still rumors about there could be that other game being worked on that wasn't a reboot.
Oh, just a
That was,
continuation of the series.
Because remember that rumor we talked about? There were 2 different Silent Hill games in development allegedly,
Yeah.
and they're only rejecting the reboot rumor.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
See, look at that. This is how rumors start. This is how rumors grow.
A new Silent Hill pachinko machine. Dang it!
No, don't speak it into existence.
It already exists,
Okay.
probably.
I'll take the next one. I'll take the next one.
Yeah, this is more you. This is a you
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, so Demon Slayer Kimitsu no Yaiba Hinokami Kepputan, developed
That's a mouthful.
developed by CyberConnect 2, and they debuted a trailer and some screenshots, as reported by Sal Romano. He only does everything for Gematsu.
Akamatsu. Yeah, that's his website.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a few screenshots, a few trailers, and it's looking pretty great. It's from my eyes indistinguishable from the anime itself. And given CyberConnect 2's track record with the Naruto game and more recently,
That's why
Dragon
it
Ball
looks so
Z
familiar. That's why it looks
Yeah,
so familiar. I
exactly.
played every Naruto game.
What
Oh,
I-
this looks great. I'm watching the trailer right now.
What I do worry
Yeah.
about, is that is
Mhm.
it? I haven't watched the trailer yet. So does it look like it's gonna be more of an adventure game or like
Uh,
a fighting game or like?
I'm guessing it's going to be more in the vein of Ultimate Ninja Storm, where you have those cinematic battles against bosses.
Oh,
It still has
I don't
at
like
its
that.
core like a brawler fighting game.
But still kind of driven by story, which I mean,
Yeah, but
especially
don't
Demon
understand
Slayer
why-
is so heavily driven
Yeah.
through story. So
I don't understand why CyberConnect 2 doesn't try to branch out into like more JRPG-ish like games again, like they did with the Dot Hack series.
Uh, I'm
'Cause
guessing,
they have experience.
sure, but I'm guessing manga-based games or anime-based games are just that more lucrative.
No, no. I'm sorry. I mean, making the anime games into a
Oh, look,
more JRPG like
yeah, I get you.
gameplay wise.
It's probably the thing that they enjoy most because
Because I feel like Demon Slayer would probably lend itself to that. I am not a huge
it
Demon
pro
Slayer fan, but I've read about it.
it probably would. But the thing is, when you watch the Shonen Battle anime,
Hmm.
or when you read the manga, it's more one-on-one battles. And when you think one-on-one battles, that translates the best to a fighting game
That's true.
or an
Yeah,
arena
that
battle.
is true.
So that's why you have so many of these fighting games based off of anime and manga, like My Heroes, One Justice, the Ultimate Ninja series, etc., etc. And
Mm-hmm.
CyberConnect 2 is one of the best in the business, especially visual wise, because they've also done JoJo Bizarre Adventure games, and of the aforementioned Naruto games, and they've only gotten better with every release. My favorite moment would have to be the Might Guy versus Madara battle from Ultimate
Oh
Ninja
my
Oh,
god,
64.
yeah.
yes.
It was so hype
Okay,
and so beautiful.
you know what was weird about Storm 4 though?
Uh-huh.
Cause the manga hadn't ended yet, so then that whole thing with Kaguya turning into a giant rabbit, and it felt like a Bayonetta boss fight almost.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. It was before the
It's
manga had
Yeah,
ended.
yeah,
that was weird.
well, it's not that far off from what
No,
actually happened, but yeah,
no, but it like just felt like it was belonged in a different game, and I was like, what is this?
they probably went back and dipped into their Ashura's Wrath
Oh man,
expertise.
I wish that had a sequel.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm excited to
Okay.
play this now. This looks really good, actually. The trailer is pretty
Yeah.
short
yeah,
and
I
sweet,
I
but
guess I have to watch Demon Slayer
oh,
then.
Oh, yes,
absolutely
you
have to watch
do.
Demon
You
Slayer.
really do.
I've been meaning to.
Oh,
It's on Hulu, and I have Hulu,
Erroll,
so
absolutely, please. It's on Crunchyroll. Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's oh yeah,
I need to
you've got to
check
watch it.
the.
We'll geek out about this.
Is it both subbed and dubbed or both finished, or is just the sub finished?
I'm not
Not
sure
that it
actually. I've
matters. I'm
only
just
watched it
curious.
subbed.
The subbed is finished. It finished last year. The dubbed is finished up until the one before last arc, I think. Because they just announced the
Oh,
voice
okay.
cast of the new characters for the latest arc, and that's like a fairly
Oh,
short
okay.
arc of 3 to 5
Okay.
episodes. So
Okay.
yeah,
So I'd probably watch it subbed then. Or I'll watch it dubbed, and then by the time I finish, the other ones will be out.
whatever
Who knows?
whatever
I
fits your fancy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it depends on how much I like the English cast. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I need to start watching it at some
Oh,
point.
it's so
Yeah.
good.
All right,
It's so
so
good. It's so hype.
next up, we got a bunch of Final Fantasy VII remake news. So I don't know how we're gonna do this. I
This
don't want you
just
to have
in,
to
a
take
lot of
all of
Final
them.
Fantasy VII news.
Yeah. No, I mean like I don't
Oh, did
know.
you guys
Do you
play the
want to
new
split
demo
it?
about Final Fantasy VII? Did you guys play that yet?
I have.
Yes. I played the demo because it's the same demo that I played at E3 last
Is it the
year.
same demo that was at PAX? Like it's that same like
I
first
believe so.
fight and
Yes.
you're with Barrett and
It,
Tifa.
yeah.
Okay, then I
Well, not
played it
T.
on.
You're not
Oh,
with
is it different?
No Tifa. No Tifa.
no Tifa, but Barrett's
Okay,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
I played this at PAX then.
It might have like a little more polish, I'm guessing, but besides that, yeah, it's pretty much the same demo.
Cool.
Um. Okay. So the first story, we'll just switch off.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Cool.
Um. So first story is from Jenny Latta over at Siliconera. Final Fantasy VII Remake World Preview heading westward in September. People worldwide are going to get a chance to enjoy extra Final Fantasy VII supplemental materials. Like Advent Children? Give me more Advent Children.
I mean, it's welcome in my eyes.
Absolutely.
Square Square Enix announced that it will be releasing Final Fantasy VII World Preview outside of Japan. The localization has been confirmed, and it has a September 8th, 2020 release window. Uh, Now, I'm guessing it could always get delayed and all that, but this is a story from 4 days ago, so who knows? I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, Final Fantasy VII World Preview debuted in Japan on March 19th. The goal is to help people better understand the people you'll see, like familiar faces like Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa. It also helps explain insights about locations like Wall Market. So I guess it gives you like, it's kind of like a, not really an encyclopedia, but just kind of like a, if you want more information on on certain areas of the world and characters and like background stuff.
It's just a nice primer for those who are
Yeah,
unfamiliar or just want to be updated on the things that are new in the remake.
yeah. Director Tetsuya Nomura and producer Yoshinori Kitase both penned its introduction. Also, it even has a short story from Kazushige Nojima inside. Nojima worked on the scenario for the game and wrote the Final Fantasy VII short stories in On the Way to a Smile. Final Fantasy VII World Preview will be available digitally and physically. Digital copies will be $16.99. Um, if someone goes with a digital copy, the 128-page hardcover book will cost 24. What? Oh, if somebody, I think they needed. This sentence is weird.
Hmm.
So the 128-page hardcover version will cost $24.99. Going with a digital copy might be the wisest in the event the same shipping delays affecting things like the Final Fantasy VII physical copies hit this release.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have not only that, but a poster collection is coming out. I've seen a lot more of like poster collection type things recently.
Hmm.
Like when I was, what was I doing? When I was having a treat myself day on Valentine's Day, I saw like a poster book from The Mandalorian, and I almost got it.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Um,
Almost. What held you back?
Almost. I was spending a lot of money, cause I had bought both. I bought both Snack World and Dreams that day,
Well, that's a good
and
reason not to get it.
Dreams was an impulse buy. Snack World I already had pre-ordered.
I like this. Treat yourself day. We
Yeah.
need more
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
Um.
Self love is good love.
Always. So true.
Uh. So this is again by Jenny Lato over at Siliconera. So Final Fantasy VII poster collection will have prints from every Final Fantasy VII related game in November. So, uh, Final Fantasy VII Poster Collection is a 24-page book with 22 prints. Square Enix official listing noted that Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, the original Final Fantasy VII, the remake, Advent Children, and Dirge of Cerberus will all have posters. Trim size is 11 inches by 14 inches. No sample images have been shared, but already has a $24.99 price tag. Also, obviously, only available physically. And that comes out on November 17th, or is set to come out on November 17th. And then, do we have any more physical stuff? Yeah, I think we have like Lego things, so I'm gonna do that one first.
Okay. Go ahead.
So it's in a different order. So we have Final Fantasy VII retro figures. Bring your blocky buddies back in August 2020. So if you've ever seen the original Final Fantasy VII graphics, the characters look kind of blocky. They're making figures of those versions, so they look like they do in the original game.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, um,
Oh, they're
so they're
cute. Oh,
finally
those are
having.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the Red 13 one. I don't
They're,
see Kate Sith here though,
they're especially great for people like me
or
who are a bit
Vincent.
older and have a bit more nostalgia.
Unfortunately, it's a blind box set of 8 is up for pre-order for $64 in the Square Enix store. Oof.
Oof. I just want
Yeah.
arrows.
I just want Red 13 because I don't see Vincent or Kate Sith or Yuffie.
Yeah.
They'll probably come out with a second set sometime
Yeah.
later.
These were first shown as prototypes at Tokyo Game Show last year.
Well, Vincent and Yuffie are on the second part. if I'm not mistaken, because this should only cover Midgar,
Oh, you're right. You're right.
and Vincent and Yuffie are later.
And that would explain. There's also why there's no Kate Sith either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Um,
I'll take the next one.
there are 8 figure. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final
Sorry, I
Fantasy
had to
VII.
check.
It's fine. Has a new climax that wasn't in the original end-to-end party escapes Midgar, as reported by Chandler Wood for PlayStation Lifestyle. Um, it's being reported that essentially to make a single release viable, the resulting game would have ended up being a digest of the original story, and we didn't think that fans would be pleased with that. Ultimately, we decided the best option for the project was to go for the highest level possible, with an expanded story. Having more than one game in the project allowed us to focus on keeping everything people loved from the original, but go into greater detail and more story depth than before. This is Yoshinori Kitase speaking, and he also mentioned Midgar is iconic to Final Fantasy VII, so we had to start the game here and follow the story up to the main party's escape from the city. Oh boy, there's a lot more. Okay, bear with
Escape
me.
from the city, but that's from Sonic.
Running around
However,
making sound.
the development team feel the same way that the fans do when it comes to seeing Red 13 as an important character, and we designed his gameplay in a special way to offset him not being playable in battle. So this is concerning Red 13 not being playable in the first part. I won't reveal exactly what that entails because I want people to enjoy it when they actually play the game, but I will say that Final Fantasy VII Remake has added a new upper floor to the Shinra building to present a climax that was not in the original. The key to navigating this floor lies in using Red 13's unique physical abilities to overcome environmental obstacles. Letting the player experience his heroics in this way is something that I'm confident will please the fans. Okay, that was a lot. So yeah, the remake is as expected, not going to be exactly as the original. Um,
Well, because they already changed stuff with the bomb mission, right?
yeah, they did. And you're also getting after you escape the bomb mission, a new character. I don't remember what he was called, but he's a soldier class type with a motorcycle that's chasing Cloud, and yeah, there ensues a battle, or a battle ensues, and he'll be introduced pretty quickly to him. So there's that, and as the article mentions, the first part is a remix of events from the original game.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
There's still 2 more Final Fantasy VII stories.
There's a lot coming out. I mean, like I said, it's only a
Lord.
little over 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
It's
Final
gonna
Fantasy
fly by.
VII Remake, I'll take this one,
Okay.
so you can take a break. Final Fantasy VII Remake PS4 and PS4 Pro bundles announced for Japan. So, they
Chris.
announced, they just announced bundles. They don't have, it doesn't look like the bundles themselves have any special, like, design or anything.
No.
I thought there was another one that was a special design, but I guess I was wrong about that. So, they just come with the dynamic theme and the game, and that's about it. PS4 bundles, 29,980 yen for the regular PS4, 39,980 yen for the PS4 Pro, same price as the standalone consoles in Japan. Okay, that's pretty good. So you're essentially getting the game for free.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. Sony emphasizes that it'll be available in limited amounts.
Ah, shucks.
Well, think about most of the people who want a PS4, especially in Japan, are probably already have a PS4.
Yeah. And leading up to
Um,
PS5, people won't be as willing to get this.
yeah. Neither pack comes with a special design. However, fans can purchase a limited PS4 top cover that will release on the game's release day. I think we had that in like a couple podcasts ago,
Yeah, I think
or
we do.
or we didn't cover it, but We didn't cover the cover. But yeah,
Undercovered.
so there's a special cover
Sorry.
and a special wearable neck speaker, not headphones, a neck speaker. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
What the heck is that?
Hold on. I'll put it in the.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, so it's interesting that like for such a big game they're not doing a limited edition PS4, but I can get why since they might not be that close to the launch of PS5, but since they're gearing up for it, maybe they're trying to like slow down on the limited edition stuff. Um,
Well,
yeah.
this would kind of be great for me because with the PS5 possibly being delayed and me being without
Needing a
PS5.
PS4? Yeah.
Yeah, so this if this ever drops in the West, I'm probably picking it up.
Well, it's not region locked. PS4s aren't region locked,
That's
remember.
true, but I still want the Western variant. Anyway, kind of depressing. Combined with Final Fantasy VII, the final issue of Dengeki PlayStation features a special illustration of Cloud Strife drawn by Tetsuya Nomura, as
Going out with a bang.
yeah,
Oh wow.
as reported by Kazuma Hashimoto for Silicon Era. So it just details the final issue of Dengeki PlayStation, and yeah, it's kind of sad seeing such an institution um, going away. They are shifting to special magazine issues, and the online,
Digital.
yeah, and the online publication will still go
Yeah.
forward, but sad. Oh well.
It's a beautiful illustration though, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's very fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take this next one. Or these
Okay.
next I'll take the next couple of yeah, I'll take the next 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
You're a lot,
I'll
man.
take the next 4.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you did all the all that Final Fantasy 7 stuff. So this is from Sal Romano of Erikamatsu once again. Inti Creates has 3 unannounced titles in development. Inti Creates CEO Takuya Aizu debating Direct-esque YouTube announcement in place of canceled Bit Summit 2020. Inti Creates has 3 unannounced titles currently in development, company CEO Takuya Aizu said on Twitter. In light of current events, I think it was a reasonable decision to cancel and postpone the various shows in Japan and abroad, including Bit Summit, which would have been held the day after our founding date, May 8th. Aizu said, however, now I'm thinking every night to morning about how we're going to announce our 3 titles currently in development. Should we announce it directly via YouTube? Inti Creates is mainly known for its Azure Striker Gunvolt and Galgun series. I've never played Galgun, but I know Gunvolt is great. I played the demo of the most recent one at PAX. And then also Blaster Master 0, 1 and 2, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, and Dragon Mark for Death. They also did the Zero collection, right?
Yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, they were the original developers.
Yeah, that's kind of their claim to fame, or at least was
Yeah.
their claim to fame. Yeah, so I'm curious to see what they have in store. If it's gonna be more Gunvolt, another like if one of them might be another Gunvolt or Galgun title, or another Blaster Master title, or some completely new IP.
Uh,
It'd be really interesting to see.
I think because they are so uh, prone to creating 2D platformers, is probably going to be Switch titles. But
Yeah,
I can also see them kind of being fed up of being shoehorned into this genre that they might want to branch out and do something crazier.
I would love to see them do like a turn-based RPG with that graphical style.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't know what else. they would do.
Yeah. It's anybody's guess at this point.
And then Nicole, have you played any of like the Gunvolt or Galgun or Mega Man Zero or anything like
No, I
that?
haven't actually.
So, in Gunvolt, one of the mechanics is, and I may be getting this wrong, but like, there's this mechanic where you, I forgot what it was. You either activate it or you die or get to really low health, and then your like little like sidekick helps you, and you get all shiny, and then like this like anime song plays in the background,
What plays in the
and it's
background?
like awesome, just like a whatever like some anime song with lyrics. So just like this like super like when you're fighting a boss, so then it just gets like turned into the super hype anime
Oh my
moment.
god, I love that. That's over the top.
And I've been meaning to play it, but I just haven't gotten around to getting that collection yet. The
And
what is it called? The Gunvolt Striker Pack, and then I forgot what the new one is called. Um, Jason, do you remember what the new Gunvolt game is called?
Uh,
It's not Gunvolt. It has
let
to do with the other character.
me check for you. Uh,
Something Copen?
as your
Luminous Avenger.
oh, yeah,
Luminous Avenger X. Yeah.
yeah. But that was 2019. So the next one is Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack. And I think that's a compilation.
Yeah, and then Luminous Avenger X was a demo I played at PAX.
Okay.
But yeah, as I said, I'm interested to see if they do a little. That'd be nice if they did a little like Inti Creates Direct type thing. Since they can't do Bit Summit this year.
Well, it's still possible.
hmm
No, Bit Summit was canceled though.
when was Bit Summit set to happen?
In May, I believe May 8th. They said.
Okay, that
they
makes
were
sense.
they
I
were
was gonna
originally
say,
going this on. Yeah.
it's coming up really quick. That's a bummer. But who knows? Maybe
Um.
we'll hear news online. I know a lot. It sounds like a lot of
Yeah,
things are
a little.
turning to online rather than. So we'll see. Maybe we can
Yeah,
get some good news.
yeah. I think they'll probably do a Inti like so. Don't be surprised if you see an Inti Creates Direct like randomly someday, one of these days. Next story. So this is the title of this one is kind of misleading. Sega to charge for Yakuza Like a Dragon New Game Plus mode. This is by Will Harrison at PlayStation Lifestyle. So, so they are charging for Yakuza Like a Dragon's New Game Plus mode, but it's only about 6 cents. So it's like a move that might be seen as controversial, because, New Game Plus should just be a free update. It's only 6 cents, so it's like, well, in that case, it's not really that big of a deal.
But it's still money, and it sets a bad precedent. I feel. Because what if you're playing something else, like say Persona or Dragon Quest, and they say, "Oh, for the next character, you're gonna have to pay us 10 cents." Um,
For Persona, well, 10 cents for a new character for Persona or a Dragon Quest. I know a lot of people who would do that. Well, Persona specifically. I would do the 10 cents for Dragon Quest, you know that.
yeah, sure. Eventually, that will lead them to jack up the price so that you could.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You're right. Um,
I was gonna say for somebody who's put
but
so
like,
much money into Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, like 10 cents sounds like such a deal.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oops.
right. Um, so the pack. Oh wait. In fairness to Sega, the Premium Masters Pack is more than just the addition of a chance to play through the game again. With the statistics and items of your cleared game data, the pack also includes additional difficulty levels, a new trophy, increased job level cap, items, costumes, and more. And so that DLC was. Wait. Oh, it's only 6 cents. from April 6th through May 6th. After that, it's going to cost about $9.
So there you
So
go.
when
Okay.
yeah, so wouldn't you rather get it for 6 cents
Yeah,
while you,
right.
while you can?
So
I
true.
mean, sure, but they're probably just testing the waters to see how much they can get away with this. And
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, I don't like New Game Plus being $9. Yeah.
yeah, it's being held hostage behind a paywall.
Like if it was an expansion or something, sure, whatever. But it's just New Game Plus mode, something that should either be a free update or already be built in.
Yeah,
Um, DLC packs. I just thought it was interesting. The whole 6-7 cents thing was interesting.
yeah.
Because originally I thought they were giving out the whole game to like in Japan for like 7 cents because of the whole pandemic, and I was like, oh my god. No, it wasn't. The news wasn't that good.
No, it's business as usual.
Yeah.
I haven't
Well,
noticed a whole lot
hopefully.
of businesses do deals like that. Although I did notice, like, for people who did play Pokemon Go, they had deals on Pokeballs. I think it was something like $1 for like 100 or something like that.
Oh my god!
So for
Wow.
people who couldn't leave their house to like
Yeah,
get onto
Uh huh.
Pokestops.
and
So,
incense was also made cheaper and it also lasted longer.
yeah, yeah. So that was cool. I thought that was really nice, and like for a game that's really
There are also
based on
just a
community.
ton of game sales in general
Oh
too
yeah, that Steam
going on.
sales.
Steam sale,
Oof.
a sale on Switch for a couple
Hmm.
of cheap, good games.
Did you end up picking up anything on there?
I want to get. I haven't picked it up yet, but I might get Piku Niku.
What's Pikuniku?
Um. I don't know how to explain it.
It's kind of an indie puzzle game
Okay.
with strange
You might like
magical
it. It's kind of
creatures.
cute. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like you might like
This
it.
sounds like right up my alley.
Yeah.
I might have to look into this
Um.
one.
Okay. Moving on to the next story while you watch that. um. And I just added this the other day. This is from Martin Robertson over at Eurogamer, and it's the National Video Game Museum needs your help. Now, this may not technically be, a Japan thing, but I think I'm a really big proprietor of video game preservation,
Mm-hmm.
just because, not even just video game, just entertainment preservation in general. So I think this is kind of important. So, National Video Game Museum hasn't been around too long, but if you're lucky enough to have paid it a visit, you'll know it's fairly special, containing curated games, blah blah blah. Also hosted some incredible events. A Just Giving campaign has been launched that's looking to raise 80,000 euros. I think that says. I don't know what the conversion rate is for
Yeah.
that. To secure the museum's future. If you're able to help in any way, head over to the Just Giving page and give what you can because this museum is well worth saving.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's in Sheffield. Yeah, it's a European. Yeah, the UK National Video Game Museum. Because we have a National Video Game Museum here in. I forgot what city it's in, but I know it's in Texas. And then there's another game museum in Oakland that I wanted to go to during my GDC trip, but you know what happened with
It's
that.
okay. There will be more. There will be more.
Yeah, so basically, just if you feel like throwing money any of these museums away, there's the one in Oakland. I unfortunately forgot the name, but I'm sure you can look it up. There's that one in Texas that has the same name, the National Video Game Museum. Please donate if you feel ever so inclined to, because preservation is very important and it's gonna just get harder.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's also a really good documentary that I've been meaning to watch called Not for Resale. We're probably going to talk about it on this podcast at some point, but we just haven't yet. And yeah, that's my whole spiel about that.
Oh, this is really cool. It's definitely like worth the look at to look at this article.
Yeah.
Oh.
And see how you can get involved and see what kind of local incentives or local foundations are working the same angle and trying to preserve games. Yeah, and it's something we should all be more active about.
Yeah, it looks like the
Yeah.
National Video Game Museum not only, I mean, it's not just a museum, but it looks like they have a lot of activities and stuff and really get like kids involved. So that they have programs to
Yeah.
train kids in disadvantaged communities. They have a massive collection of video games and they get kids involved. It's really, that would be a really tragic resource to lose.
Yeah, any of those museums would be.
Absolutely.
Um.
Okay.
So.
We'll hope that they get their
But yeah. So if you want to donate to that,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead with the next one.
Okay. Oh no, I was gonna do this one, and then you were gonna
Okay,
do
No,
you
wait,
go
the
I
ahead.
was
one
going
after.
to. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh. Hey, if you want to, be our guest.
I mean, I'm pretty sure our listeners are pretty tired of our boring meal voices, so
Oh
they
no, you
might.
guys are great. Keep it up,
Our
please.
our two listeners, John, our boss John, and your friend
Greg.
I forgot his name. Yeah, your friend Greg.
Yeah. Hey, any audience is an audience.
Absolutely. Hi,
And
John. Hi, Greg. We'll have lots more
Okay.
people watching. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say hello to
Okay,
everyone.
take
okay,
it away.
so all who's taking it away?
You're taking it away.
Oh, okay. I,
No, you, please.
no, you first. No, all right. Again, a final Platinum Games Platinum 4 announcement set for April 1st. Doozy of an announcement incoming. This is from Sal Romano over at Gamatsu. So Platinum Games will make a fourth and final announcement in a set of Platinum 4 announcement on April 1st, according to an update on the Platinum 4 website. To recap, the first three announcements were the following. With the Wonderful 101 Remastered, which comes out next month, and it looks great. Project GG, which I'm very excited for. If you've listened a few episodes ago, and also hear me talk about Ultraman, so obviously, and Platinum Games Tokyo. Regarding the fourth announcement, Platinum Games Executive Vice President and Studio Head Atsushi Inabe previously said, "The last one is secret. We're doing something very platinum and interesting. Look forward to it." Platinum Games Senior Vice President and Game Designer Hideki Kamiya said at PAX East 2020 that it will be a quote-unquote doozy. It's gonna be the spiritual sequel to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance that I want. That's what it's gonna be.
You know that line from Inception that Tom Hardy says, "Don't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling." So
Okay, fine. Revengeance 2, they got the right from Konami. No, they didn't get the rights from Konami. That's dreaming too big.
okay,
Just keep dreaming.
I mean, it can happen. Who knows? Who knows?
It's gonna be
Okay.
another Okami 2.
Next up is Xbox Series X graphics source code reportedly stolen and being held for $100, no, 100 million, sorry, ransom.
Ooh.
$100. Here you go.
Yeah, that would have been the easiest case ever. Like, okay, sure,
And the
you get
story's
$100.
done.
Yeah. Anyway, this is being reported on IGN by Jordan Oloman. A hacker has reportedly stolen the Xbox Series X graphics source code and is holding it to ransom. The news arrives through a blog post on the AMD website, where the hardware company explained the situation. We were contacted by someone who claimed to have test files related to a subset of our current and future graphics products. The statement reads. So yeah, it delves into how someone allegedly got a hold of source code for upcoming products or current products from AMD.
Was it
Mm-hmm.
Nicolas Cage?
No,
Dang it.
those were not in service of national security. So yeah, someone is trying to extort money from AMD or probably Microsoft for the source code, and yeah, it's kind of serious business. AMD sent out
Mark Cerny.
the MCA takedown notice on the repository for the data because it was held on GitHub, which is a Microsoft-owned website. Yeah, so it's kind of scary that someone can just grab a hold of your information like that.
Yeah. But
But
then it must have
mhm.
not been that well protected though, right?
It could have been protected, but some software can always have a breach somewhere, and that
Yeah.
makes it susceptible to being hacked. We don't know how it got hacked or what exactly got hacked or the severity of the breach and how much knowledge they actually have of the source code. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing sooner than later we'll know more.
It's kind of crazy that this wasn't that big of a news story today. I mean, I know why because of all the other stuff,
Hmm.
but I'm just surprised not seeing more people talking about it.
You
It's
also don't want to.
honestly the first time I've heard about this, and it's alarming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also don't think you want to blow too much smoke because that might inflate the sense of the hacker and make
That's
him
true.
ask more money, or her. It could be a her,
Them,
or
yeah. Who
them.
knows?
Uh, they could be asking for more money.
True.
And you also don't want to alarm your partners into thinking that you cannot guarantee that their product is safe from third parties. Uh,
Yeah, ESA. I mean, what? Who said
so
that?
I'm guessing they're just trying to minimize the damage as much as possible by not shining too much of a light on this.
Yeah, I mean, this was the only. I only saw this because you sent it to me.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Okay.
that gets figured out.
Yeah. Hopefully
I'll take the
that.
next.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it gets resolved. I'll take this next story. So, in addition to some deals with some like Western studios, Epic Games also got a deal with the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus creators.
Oh.
So Gen Design, the creators behind Ico and Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian, is teaming up with Epic Games to create its next game. Which is weird to me, because wouldn't Sony just
Well, Gen Design, I think that's the company now, by
yeah.
Fumeto Ueda. They went independent during the development of The Last Guardian. They consulted and assisted with the development of The Last Guardian. Um, but they are a completely separate studio now. And now with the backing of Epic Games Publishing, they have the financial means and the total freedom to create whatever for the future. And the same goes for the team at Remedy Games and the team at Playdead, who will all be getting the same deal, more or less.
Oh right, because they don't own
Yeah.
those IPs.
Mm-hmm.
Sony owns those IPs, right?
Yeah, I think Sony owns Ico, Last Guardian, and Shadow of the Colossus,
Shadow of the
but
Colossus, yeah. What is there a? Is that just called like the Ico trilogy or something? Is there
mm-hmm.
like a name for that? Yeah, because I didn't know there was. I never see anybody refer it to. Like it's not like how. What's it?
Well,
Well, nobody
you can
refer.
call it the Ico trilogy because in Japan,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, Shadow of the Colossus is called Nico, and the Last Guardian started off as Project Trico. So,
Oh,
uh,
oh yeah, that's right. And that's just the name of the. Well, that's just the. Isn't
so
isn't Taiko the name of uh
yeah,
the name of the thing,
yeah,
the bird thingy, the
the
griffin
the
or whatever?
the bird dog.
Trico? Well, he says Trico, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Pokemon. But anyway, um, yeah, I thought that was really interesting because, well, I'm a huge Shadow of the Colossus fan. Ico and Last Guardian, not so much. Um, but it'll be interesting to see them make a game that isn't specifically for Sony.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I can see them working on PC stuff, VR stuff, and probably even something for Switch. But Microsoft might also make a play for this and try to bolster their Series X lineup going
Yeah.
forward.
Who knows? Good for them. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people have a lot of feelings when it comes to signing on to different platforms, but if they,
Yeah.
there's potential for a lot of great things happening. That's for sure. If they
Yeah,
have the funds
the
for
good thing
it.
is they have now complete freedom to create whatever they want.
Yeah. Ooh, let's see. I really like Shadow of the Colossus, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. It's do you have PlayStation Plus? Or cuz it was was it free? Was it free this month?
Yeah, it's free this month on PlayStation
On
Plus.
PlayStation Plus.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it? Oh, right on. I have it for
the
PlayStation
remake.
3.
Oh, the PS4 remake is gorgeous. I mean, I have the physical copy too. I've been meaning to I had been meaning to trade it in just because I already downloaded the PS Plus digital version.
Hmm.
But now since I can't really go anywhere, I just have the physical version and I have the free digital version. I'm like, okay, well,
There you go.
whatever.
What if you guys traded it for something later?
Well, you covered all
You
your
should also check out did you get to play Pray for the Gods at PAX?
No, I didn't.
It's it's very Shadow of the Colossus, and it's inspired by both Shadow of the Colossus and a little bit of Breath of the Wild. I think you'd really like it.
Okay, a fusion of two amazing games.
I believe you can
Absolutely.
get it on Steam right now in early
What is
access
it called?
too. Pray for the Gods,
Pray
but
for the Gods?
it's P R
P-R-E-Y?
I can't no,
Okay.
it's I think they changed the name recently because they had to change the name because of the other game Prey, the arcane game, the game by Arcane Studio. So it's Prey. It's Praey.
Oh,
Prey.
interesting.
Prey.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Definitely have to try it out.
Yeah. So it's on Steam right here. When you look it up, it's right
Thanks.
there.
I hope it falls under that Steam sale. My goodness.
Um, it's planned for well, and it's also planned for PS4, Xbox One.
Oh, good.
Later on. I've been following this game's development for a while too.
That's cool. So you had a
So
chance to demo it at PAX?
yeah, I really liked it. I wish I had a little more time to get used to the controls, because kind of like Shadow of the Colossus, the controls are a little weird.
Mm-hmm. No, that's for sure. It takes you a little bit. Once you figure it out, it's not so bad,
Using
but yeah, it definitely
triangle to jump.
takes a hot minute. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, it is
So,
spelled
yeah.
interesting. Praey.
Yeah, they had to do it because of copyright issues. Um,
Oh.
but yeah,
Oh, it's so pretty though. Oh, this one is definitely
yeah.
worth
So
to check
that
out.
if you're a Shadow of the Colossus fan, that is right up your
Oh yeah,
alley.
I'm following it. Adding to the wish list. Oh, my little brother has it. Nice, right on. Nice, good chase. Proud of you, brother.
Be like, hey, how come you didn't tell me about
Yeah, right. No kidding. Come on,
that?
bud. What are you doing?
All right, so we gotta move on while she does that. Gets excited for that game.
you you want to
We
cut it
have
short
kind of
and move on to
uh,
the direct?
I was actually no, I want to talk about a couple quick things
Okay.
before we get to the
Are
direct.
things that you're
So
deleting, are those not going to be included in the podcast? Is that what you're deciding?
no. They're news. They're once we're done with it, I just because it's easier because then I don't have to go back in and do it for the next
Gotcha.
podcast. That's why I haven't done that with the recommended reading because I put those in the description. I don't put all the other stuff in the description.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Switch has now well, it also not all of it would fit, especially in the YouTube
Hmm.
description.
Excuse me?
So this is the YouTube description. Not all of it would fit.
Yeah, because if we
Hello?
add them all, then we
Yeah.
run out of space for the description. So we just
Yeah.
do it as we've always done.
Perfect, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, what did I say?
You're cutting out pretty
Um,
bad. It's
We're trying to
nice.
piece it all together. Like, oh, he said this and he said that. I think it goes together.
sorry. my internet was being so good, and then I don't know what happened. Um,
It's okay.
so this story is by Ryan Craddock. This is over at Nintendo Life. Switch has now surpassed Wii's lifetime sales in
That's
Japan,
amazing.
but Wii's worldwide total remains on top,
Wow.
shifting a massive 392,576 units according to Famitsu. This places the console at an estimated 12.8 million sales over its relatively short lifetime, which means Nintendo's latest machine has just hit a new significant milestone. Still has a long way to beat the record. May have been caused by Animal Crossing fever and the Coral Switch Lite.
Oh, that Coral
And
Switch
then,
Lite is so good.
but then having to do with that, buying a Switch in the U.S. is very difficult right now.
Yes, it is.
Probably because of Animal Crossing, and also just Switch shortages because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Do you think is a lot of it in part because of Animal Crossing? Why there is a Switch shortage?
Yeah, I think a lot of people might have been waiting to get one because of Animal Crossing.
Like me. I mean, I literally just wanted the special edition Switch.
We forgive you. We forgive you.
Thank you. It's my fault that this is happening. That's why there's such a shortage.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch hardware is selling out of various retail locations in the US, but more systems are on the way. We apologize for any inconvenience. Yeah, so it's possible the impact from the virus is now starting to be felt, although Nintendo didn't mention it. They said they should be back in stock at some point, obviously. I wonder if, like, I have a Target down the street from me, and they always have Switches. So, like, if we weren't doing this whole social distancing thing, I'd go down there and check, but I don't really want to.
I know. I thought the same thing. Yeah, stay inside,
Stay
be safe,
inside.
be healthy.
Like,
Not worth it.
I wouldn't buy a Switch. I'm just like wondering if I guess I could always call them and be like,
You could
to
call
check if they
them.
had any Switches, just because I'm not. Yeah. Just out of curiosity. Because I wouldn't buy one if I have one. But yeah, that's just so if you're looking for a Switch, that's kind of unfortunate right now.
Yeah, it's happening with my
But
little brother
the-
right now. We've been bugging him. I have two brothers, and me and my other brother have been bugging this brother to get one forever. We both got him at launch, and finally, he wasn't too thrilled about some of like the initial, well, I guess before Sword and Shield came out.
Yeah.
But then my
Ah.
brother and I were like, no, it's actually amazing. You need to get this game. And now he's finally like, so I should probably play Sword and Shield, huh? We're like, yeah, you think? Why would we lie about this? It's wonderful. You're going to love it.
Join us.
One of us.
One of us.
Yeah, I said that to my friend because
surprised-
he's never played it.
What was that?
I said that to my friend today because he's never played an Animal Crossing game before, and he's like, he was saying how it's really annoying how he sees Animal Crossing everywhere, even on sites he wouldn't normally see it, and I'm just like, join us.
I love it. It's everywhere. I love it so much. I've loved this series since, I was knee-high to a grasshopper playing it on the GameCube, so I'm glad that it's getting the attention it deserves.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's very fortunate that it came out at this time, and everyone was
Yeah.
just hungering for this kind of relief.
Oh, it's so true.
Before we get on to more Animal Crossing, we have to do a few other quick news stories. So this one, Dandy Dungeon: Legend of Brave Yamada sequel update. Dandy Dungeon 2: The Phantom Bride launches April 2nd. This is from Sal Romano, Ray Romano, over at Gamatsu. So I put the story on because I actually played Dandy Dungeon when it first came out on Switch. It's actually a really fun and addicting game. You play as this, like, this unemployed, this Japanese businessman who gets fired from his job and at a big game development company, and he goes, you know what? I'm gonna work on my own game from now on. So, as you're working on the game, you're playing as him in these little mazes, and you kind of have to put your path through, and then your path you have to like create a line to the door of
Mm-hmm.
from like the beginning of the room to the door at the end of the room, and you encounter enemies and can do like magic spells and other stuff along the way, and use items along the way. Um, it's a really silly game.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend you check it out. Um, but yeah, they're getting a free big sequel update with more than 90 dungeon types, over 560 weapons and armor, 260 plus monsters, over 130 tracks of chiptunes and humming, Heaven's Door, a brand new 99 floor post game challenge dungeon, and collaborations with RPG composer Nobuo Uematsu and Toho Project Zun. So it's pretty cool that they got the Final Fantasy composer to guest compose a few tracks.
Yeah.
I'm interested to look at. I've never even heard of it before.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of people have not heard of this game. It's by Onion Games, who I believe did a very beloved game called, I think it's called Moon. It's like an RPG called Moon or something. But yeah, this was like passed a lot of people by. But then I saw at one point I saw like Greg Miller talking about it. Greg Miller of Kind of Funny, friend of the show. Okay, he's not a friend of the show, but I've met him a couple times. Yeah, I saw him and some other like games media people talking about it because it came out like at the end of like at this point where like people were either playing Fire Emblem or just like not that much else was coming out. So people were picking it up and being like, "Wow, this is kind of fun," but people just weren't talking about it all that much. So I thought it was interesting that it's getting a big update. Moving on to the next story. Monster Rancher on Switch to go beyond simple port with tournament and new monster update. So Monster Rancher, a port of the first game, was released on Switch in Japan, I want to say a couple months ago. For Switch and mobile devices. And the release will be going beyond just a simple port with some bonus features and adapted features. The Monster Rancher Twitter announced that the game is getting a tournament mode for player tournaments, brand new monsters not in the original Monster Rancher, and other features. Apart from these two things, the Monster Rancher Switch and mobile versions are also getting more slave slots, more music CD data, and a change to versus mode regarding how the one player side enters the mode. Originally, it seems like this update would have been put out earlier, likely sometime this month, but Koei Tecmo clarified in a tweet that the update will release in April due to various circumstances, which likely refers to the pandemic, blah blah. So, no news has been announced on any Western version of the release. Why not? Why not?
Well,
It's a shame.
if I had to guess, it's probably because Monster Rancher's popularity has kind of waned to an extreme low.
I don't care. I don't care.
Well, they clearly do.
I want Monster Rancher because the last thing we got was a cruddy mobile game that wasn't good at all.
Well, you can always import this one.
That's true. And Monster
Or-
Rancher, the first one, is pretty simple
Yeah, or get it
from
on
what I
the
remember.
Japanese eShop.
Yeah, so I could just have my Japanese monster collecting game collection because I already have Dragon Quest Monsters, the port,
Mm-hmm.
and the Yokai Watch 1 remake,
Worth it?
both on my
Worth
Switch.
it.
I don't read Japanese, but since I've played both the games and walkthroughs are available in English, I'm like, well, I can do that.
There you go. Dedication, though.
I admire your confidence.
Same. Proud of you.
Well, if you've ever heard of the YouTuber slash Nintendo ambassador Abdallah Smash, he covers a lot of Yokai Watch stuff. You can see my interview with Abdallah Smash on parallaxmedia.1.
Wait, was he at PAX?
Probably.
I think I met him, actually.
Oh my god.
I think I did. Hold on, let me look
Yeah,
at him.
I somehow haven't met him, but I've interviewed him.
Yeah, I totally met him at PAX.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he's
he
really
covers
nice.
a lot. He's a huge Yokai Watch fan, and when he first played it, he was playing it in Japanese, and he doesn't even know Japanese, so we were just trying to figure everything out and trying to find some walkthroughs that were in English, and he always plays the Japanese version first, and then he plays the English version later. and
Oh
he
wow, that's
barely reads
dedication.
Japanese.
It's
Yeah.
really challenging. I wonder if
So
he's
he's
learned any I hope he's learned some Japanese
I'm
to be
sure.
doing
No, I'm
this.
sure he has. When I was talking, you can check. I'll send you my interview for that.
Nice way of plugging your stuff.
It's so good. I'm
Yeah.
proud. Do it.
Um,
Drop that link.
but yeah. What Now I forgot what the Monster Rancher. Right. Yeah. So Monster Rancher, I've just been waiting for a comeback for that, cause like, and they got one in Japan, just not here yet. And then my favorite is Monster Rancher 3 because it has cel shaded graphics and it's aged. I think it's aged a lot better than all the other ones.
Hmm.
Just because those stylized graphics have aged so much better. Because the other style are slightly more like realistic for the time.
Yeah.
So it does not hold up.
No, I
Like even Monster Rancher 4 does not hold up. And some people consider that one the best one. Um, but yeah,
Do,
so maybe one
do we
day.
have a set release for this for the States or?
For Monster
Mhm.
Rancher, no,
As
no,
of
it's
yet,
never been.
no.
No, it's never been confirmed for the West.
One day.
Yeah. So moving on. Um, so we're getting into more Nintendo Direct stuff. So should I do the? Because they started with Xenoblade. Did they start with Xenoblade?
Yes. Well, if you want, we can just do the press release because that highlights what's out now.
Well, no, because I'm saying like if we talk about Xenoblade, we have to say Xenoblade and then these two related stories and then move on to the other stuff.
Okay,
You see what I'm saying?
then let me do the mini direct announcements, and then when I hit Xenoblade, you can chime in. Is that cool?
Um, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, today, a mini direct. I don't know if you can call it a mini direct. Was
I think
Yeah,
that's
it
what
was
they called
28
themselves.
minutes.
Yeah.
yeah, and has me wondering what would a full direct look like. Now I'm curious. What are you hiding?
56,
What are
56 minutes.
what are
It
you
would have
hiding,
been still
Nintendo?
1 hour
What are
More
you
long.
hiding?
secrets. I know they
Yeah.
have many secrets.
Deadly Premonition 2, apparently.
All right, keep your secrets. Uh,
Stop. Okay, Mr.
I know what they're
Frodo.
hiding.
okay, so the announcements are as follows. Now available. Good job. It's puzzle.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, that's the title of the game. Good job. It's a madcap action puzzle game.
Thanks.
And it's zany. You're kind of trying to do chores in your office or your business, and think Overcooked, and you have an idea of how wrong or hilariously right everything can go. Um, we'll link the video for the Nintendo Direct in the description, so you can see it for yourself. Next up we have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order expansion pack
Oh, we
Pack
don't need to
3.
cover that. We don't need to cover that.
It's
We only need to cover the Japanese games.
well, it's Japanese developed, so there you go.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Team Ninja.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Because I played the demo at E3, was not
Hmm.
really that big of a fan of it, and then was like, whatever.
Okay. Well, in this expansion pack, you're playing as Fantastic Four against Doctor Doom. Well, among other characters in the expansion pack, but it's mainly focused on the Fantastic Four versus Doctor Doom. Okay.
Fantastic Four, do do do.
Next
That's what
up,
the 90s
I'm
theme is
not,
like.
I'm not gonna sing, but next up we have the Ring Fit Adventure update, which adds a Beat Saber-esque like rhythm action section, which is kind of cool. And they're also adding an update with the exercises that are separate from the main story. So you can like create a playlist for workouts. You don't have to go run through the story, which is
Yeah,
pretty.
but it's gonna be hard to get your hands on Ring Fit Adventure right now, though.
Oh, you think
Yeah,
so?
Well, they only have physical editions,
Oh, that's true.
considering
Leaving the
that.
house, that would be difficult, huh? I
Yeah.
guess, I mean, you can order it, but.
So if you bought it before the
No, but it's like sold out, I think, right?
Mm,
yeah, because it's a perfect alternative for a home gym. And since you can't go outside or really go outside to do your exercise, this would come in handy.
true. Have
Um,
either of you played it?
no,
No.
I'm kind of bummed that I didn't jump on the bandwagon now because we're stuck inside and
That's true.
I really need some exercise.
I thought
Like,
about
I
it.
just do
I
10.
almost got it. I have a friend who played through every level of it, and she really liked it. So she was talking about this on Twitter
Nice.
today. She's very excited for this update, this expansion. Is it expansion or is this just an update?
yeah, it's a well, you can call it
It's an update.
an update
It's a
that expands the
yeah.
game.
It's both.
So yeah, and the rhythm action update also adds tracks from Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, and the Breath of the Wild.
It's only like 17 tracks, I think.
Yeah, but it's better than nothing.
You can
Yeah.
work out to Breath of the Wild. What's it gonna be like, Cass's theme or something? Like, what's the danceable tune?
I have no idea, but it's gonna be so hyped. Like
No kidding, right?
the battle
They should have
music.
put the they should put the Fire Emblem battle music.
Or like
Yeah.
boss battle music? Is that what we said?
Three houses, the three houses music.
Yes, absolutely yes.
Okay, moving on, we have Shinsekai Into the Depths. It's a game by Capcom, and it has you exploring the deep sea as a diver and trying to uncover what happened to the post-apocalyptic world you're in. Kind of fitting,
So it couldn't.
given
So I couldn't
Oh
tell.
no.
Was it like a? Is it like a met? Is it like a Metroidvania like thing?
I guess
Or
you could see that in the gameplay, because you're going through levels, uncovering new abilities and uncovering new secrets. So yeah, I kind of see where you get the idea of a Metroidvania. Um, and yeah, as I mentioned earlier, all these games I listed are available now. We also have Panzer Dragoon Remake. It's a remake of the dragon riding action game. If you're into that.
yeah. So I have an important note about that.
Mm-hmm.
That studio, Megapixel,
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't been reported on since a few months ago, but they are also allegedly working on remakes for House of the Dead 1 and 2.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
My favorite,
wow.
my favorite, yeah, my favorite light gun shooters ever. So hopefully we'll get now that Panzer Dragoon is finished. Hopefully we'll get more news on that soon.
Oh, that's good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Also out today is Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, which is probably the most well known of the franchise.
That's not a Japan developed game.
I'll make an
We
exception.
can't put,
Okay, if we're gonna
dude. We
talk
can't
about
put
Star Wars, we
everything.
gotta talk about the
I'll,
last Star
We
Wars.
can't put everything.
I'll,
That was
I'll
talked
make
about.
an exception. Anyway, it has online
Oh my
multiplayer.
god.
Okay, that's the last I'll say. Yeah. And,
Look, if somebody makes if like a Japanese studio wants to make a like really cool Star Wars game, go ahead, make a Star Wars JRPG. That would be awesome.
So true. Oh my goodness.
okay. And launching in 2020, we have Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. And that's
Yes.
your cue, Errol.
Yeah. So we have a couple additional stories on that. So, um, it will have a collector's edition in Europe that has a lot more goodies than the U.S. one. This story is from Grayson Morales. Oh, hey, I know him over at Twinfinite.
Our
Um,
buddy.
yeah. Um, a release date is blah blah blah. Collector's edition one. The collector set in the U.S. is called the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition Works Set, and includes a copy of the game alongside a 250-page art book with a slipcase, and that's it. Oh, well, at least you got an art book though.
Yeah.
Available for pre-order now at select retailers such as Best Buy for $79.99. You can see an image of it down below. It's right there. Um, and then the one for Europe is packed with a physical copy of the game, a stunning steelbook case, a sound selection vinyl that matches the Monado's design, a digital download of that same music, a poster featuring the same art, and the same 250-page art book from the other collection. So you get a steelbook, a poster, and a soundtrack in addition to the art book.
Dang.
Um,
Are you gonna get it?
Not the collector's edition.
I'm trying to.
I'll get the game on the May 29th is when it comes out, and it will have what was that? The Future Connected like epilogue, like some new content.
Which probably sets up Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I thought they weren't. So they are connected. I thought they like weren't connected really.
They are vaguely, but it's not a required
Yeah.
uh, thing you need
So like
to enjoy the
yeah.
second one.
So kind of like Ni no Kuni.
Yeah.
And then
mhm.
and then to do with that, we have one more story. Then this is from earlier this week actually, from Ishan Sadev over at Siliconera. Xenoblade developer Monolith Soft has grown to 243 employees.
Wow.
Which is his highest employee count ever. This comes amidst Monolith ramping up production on at least 2 projects that are in development simultaneously. A Legend of Zelda game, probably Breath of the Wild 2, and a new RPG, which has not been announced yet. Xenoblade 3 or Xenoblade X Definitive Edition? Who knows?
Something new
Monolith Soft
entirely.
has grown over the years. So they started with 100, and then they went down, and then the Kyoto studio opens, and then they just have been going up in 2011, and they've just been the number of employees has just been increasing since then.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially in this economy. Like, come on. And this economy.
In this a Xenoblade game in this economy?
In this economy? It's true though. It's great though. That's amazing. I'm happy for their studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Stealth, popular Twitter video game enthusiast person. I don't know what is he?
Okay.
Yeah, I see Stealth tweet about Monolith Soft a lot, so.
Okay, I'll go ahead with the rest of the announcement real quick.
The rest of the direct,
Animal
yeah.
Crossing New Horizons is getting new updates, free updates
What's
for
Animal
Easter.
Crossing?
Yeah, I never heard of it. It's probably the
Yeah, I
small
don't know. Something
indie
about
game.
Sounds like
I don't
it.
know. Something about a
Sounds
goose.
vaguely familiar.
What do you even
Uh,
do?
yeah.
I don't know. I heard there was like a goose in it or something.
Yeah.
You went with
Anyway,
the
between April 1st and April 12th, there will be an Easter-themed Bunny Day event. And later on, there will be an Earth Day event. They told us to stay tuned to the official Twitter account for Animal Crossing and other official channels for more updates on future updates for the game. And Pokemon Sword expansion pass and Pokemon Shield expansion pass also got some love during this direct. It's just highlighting the special legendary in the game and
Kung Fu.
yeah, what choices you can make that affect his or her evolution. The
It's a
first
legendary. Wouldn't
expansion.
it not have a? Does it have a gender?
Uh,
I don't think we know yet.
I don't know. Let's wait till it comes out. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
The Isle of Armor launches at the end of June, and the second one, which is the Crown of Tundra, will be available at a later date. We also have Bravely Default 2, the demo out now. It's done by the same team that did the Bravely Default games on the DS. or 3DS.
3DS.
The Heroes of Light on DS, and Octopath Traveler also. Uh,
Oh, it's the same team?
or part of the same team, because
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken, Acquire also did some of the development on Octopath Traveler.
Mm.
But this is notable because demo is out now, and after you get through the demo at a later date, you'll get to participate in a questionnaire so that you can help them finalize some of the development for the final game. Huh?
I
Let's
like that.
see.
I think
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna have to play through that demo.
yeah, they did that with Octopath Traveler and more recently with Daemon X Machina. And based on the feedback, they shifted a few things here and there.
Wow.
Yeah, so hopefully this pans out for them. Next up, we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Not a real announcement, but they did say that they are adding a character from the ARMS Switch game. They haven't decided which one yet, or they haven't revealed it. There will be music included from ARMS, and accompanying this, there's a free trial of ARMS on the Nintendo Switch until April 6th, if I'm not mistaken. So check it out, if you will. Let's see, I think that's about it. You also have Captain Full
I'm gonna.
Body, which big
Oh,
yay,
don't
big.
forget about. Excuse me. Don't forget about Mr. Driller, the new Mr. Driller game coming out.
Yeah, that's there.
Mr. Driller is
That,
a
that,
very important
that's
person.
yeah, that's the end of the announcement. But Captain Full Body, and that's coming out on July 7th. After that, we have Trials of Mana for April 24th.
Right.
The demo out this week.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, Mr. Driller Drill Land, June 25th. That is dropping.
So that was interesting. That was a I didn't know about this until later, but that was a Japan exclusive GameCube game.
Hmm. So they're trying to make their
I
way back to the Western Shores.
Yeah, cuz I played Mr. Driller on PlayStation 1
Hmm.
way back in the day, and then there was a DS game I remember, and then I don't remember hearing from Mr. Driller again.
Okay. Well, hopefully, it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah. Next up, we also have the Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 3, which has a demo out now, and full game releases on June 30th. Um, this was all from a press release on Business Wire. If you want to know more, check the Nintendo Mini Direct, which clocks in at about
Yeah.
30 minutes. So,
Yeah.
that was that.
So So really quick, I want to go over it because the Japan Mini Direct had a few more things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna list these off instead of clicking all of them. So they had
Okay.
Namcot the Namcot collection, which has a lot of a couple classic Famicom games like Galaga. I'm waiting for the story to load real quick. Pac-Man, Galaga, Tower of Druaga, Splatterhouse, and Dragon Spirit. Um, they're also getting Pro Yaku Famita 2020, which is a silly anime baseball game. Um, and then we got Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate Plus. And then last story is that the Space Invaders Invincible collection will feature some quality of life updates for the games, which is kind of an obvious thing, but since we've talked about it on this podcast before, I figured we'd so they have a lot of modern touches to it. Be able to compete online on the ranking board, special challenge mode for each title, ability to change your view and take a minute to yourself, can select the orientation of the screen, quick save and load functions, be able to add scan lines for a retro vibe depending on the title you play. Alright. So now we can finally get to the main topic.
At last,
What are we talking about?
we have unleashed Nicole.
We
I'm
have
so
we have
excited.
we've been going kind of long, but I'm just saying screw it. Also, I forgot to do timestamps, so that's gonna suck later, but whatever.
You kind of cut out there.
Oh, I said also I forgot to do timestamps, so I forgot to put the timer on.
Oh
So that's
no.
gonna really suck later.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But
It's fine. It's fine.
that's
We'll,
okay.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. So I just have a bunch of different articles here. So there's like Animal Crossing New Horizons smashes Japanese Switch sales records, and I believe both in Japan and the UK it is the best-selling game in the series, and that's only from physical sales. That's not even counting digital sales yet.
That's incredible. And
Yeah.
I added to the digital sales on this one, and I usually go for
And
physical
and that's
copies.
also not counting US sales, so worldwide sales, once they have them with physical and digital, are going to be insane.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. I know people who have bought multiple Switches so they could have multiple islands. That's how Animal Crossing, like diehard Animal Crossing players, like we go for it. We love the series like to pieces.
And it's also probably due to the fact that the sharing of the game is a bit tricky this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because first is one island, if I'm not mistaken, and then
That's true.
every profile gets to inhabit a space on that island or gets to visit that island. So I guess that's why people are also buying multiple copies, multiple physical copies, especially, so to make that easier. Um, yeah.
Because I know, like, back when I first played Population Growing, which is the GameCube edition, when we
Hmm.
first played that, we shared it as a family, and you could have the option to have like somebody else. Like, I had my mom move on to my town for a bit, but then we also had the ability to just each get our own memory card. So we
Yeah.
could save our game onto the memory card and we'd each have our own, but still share one same GameCube. But yeah, I guess that's probably my largest critique with the new Animal Crossing is it really does make it different. And I feel like for families, if you're sharing it, I would be so nervous to have like my child run through all of my hybrid flowers. Oh my gosh, no, they wouldn't be allowed to play with my
Oh
town.
no. I just got the orange and pink roses today too. Don't
Did
even
you?
don't
Oh,
even.
did you end up going to an
Yeah.
island, a hybrid island, or did you breed yours?
No, I grew them myself.
I'm so proud of you. That's huge. That's huge. I just got well, my town flower are pansies. So that's interesting. So each you'll find like on your island you have a town fruit and then you have a town flower.
Hmm.
So I started with peaches and I have pansies on my town.
Oh, lucky
Yeah, what
I
did you
got
guys name your
I got
islands?
well, just to go with the fruit thing. I got cherries, and then uh my flower was a hyacinth, and I hate it.
What? Hyacinths are so pretty.
I like that.
I don't like how they look. I don't like how they look in the game. I'm not sure if I've probably seen one in real life. I probably have to see an actual picture of them, but I definitely don't like how they look in the game.
Huh.
Oh, I think the hyacinths are
So that's
so
why I'm
pretty.
putting that's why I'm putting
So we'll have to do
I'm
some
putting
training.
roses everywhere,
Oh, nice.
or at least in the rose garden section. I named my island Sabodi. It's based off of an island, or actually, it's based off an archipelago in my favorite arc of One Piece. Um,
Is it Whole Cake
yeah.
Island?
No, Sabodi. Sorry, I must have cut
Ah.
out again.
You're cutting out pretty bad. Did you
Um,
say it's based off of One Piece?
yeah, it's called
Oh, that's
Sabodi.
so.
It's based off of the Sabodi archipelago arc, which is
Oh, that's so good.
probably
So
my
you're gonna have to make
favorite
like a
arc in the
cosplay for
series.
this. Like you're gonna have to run around like in One Piece garb on your island.
I almost have half of Zoro. You know what's funny is I had the bandana already, and then like from one of the presents I got a leopard shirt, a green leopard shirt, so it was kind of
Oh,
Zoro-ish.
that's cool.
That's so.
And I was walking around with that and like a rose in my mouth and the pole
Yes.
vault, and I'm like, well, that works.
You felt like Zoro. That's amazing. I
Kind
love
of.
that.
Yeah.
So,
And then it always goes to the time skip, because then if you get stung by wasp, then you have your eye is messed up.
oh my god,
Like
that's
how Zoro
so
has a scar.
perfect. He does he
Yeah.
has a scar. That'd be, yeah, that's about as close as you could get.
Yeah.
Although they did introduce a new feature too. So with so you can do custom designs. You can do like face designs as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't have the clothes designs yet. I don't think.
So it's pretty cool.
I
So
just
at the ATM in
yeah.
your well, I guess at the beginning where Tom Nook is, you can get like the custom code designer. I can't remember how much it costs at the beginning, but it's absolutely worth it. I think it might be something like 8,000. I've been going a little bit crazy making
Whoa.
designs. A little
I
bit.
use most of my Nook miles to visit the islands and get supplies and stuff.
Oh, you've
I
mostly
don't
been
really
doing
use.
that?
Yeah. I don't usually use them to buy stuff unless I really want it, and most of the stuff on there I don't want unless it's like a custom design thing or one of those things that's kind of necessary.
I would say the most worth things to get in the beginning is expanding your inventory, having your
Mm.
bag as big as possible. There's 2 upgrades that I've
Yeah.
encountered so far. So I've upgraded my bag twice and I love it so much. It makes such a big difference.
Yeah. So I got a knapsack and it was just I think it was just
Oh, it's
cosmetic
just
because I couldn't
cosmetic.
put anything in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one doesn't actually
At
increase
least it
your
seemed like
inventory.
it.
No, that one doesn't. It's actually
Yeah.
like towards the top of it if you're paying with your Nook miles, it's like the top ones are the ones that are bag upgrades and things. The other ones are just items.
Okay.
Which I do like that bag item. I like that we can have bags. I also like that we can have like
I also
2
want.
facial accessories, which is nice.
Yeah, I want the yeah, 'cause my guy has glasses. I want that kaiju statue though. I really want that kaiju statue.
I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, so there's like a Godzilla-ish statue you can get from the Nook Miles.
I wonder if
That's
it's
so cool.
He might be for sale in mine. I've seen there's like a couple. There's like a couple of giant robots. There's like mechs.
Yeah,
I
there's a
was like,
giant
that's
robot too.
really
Yeah, I'm
cool.
getting. I don't have either of those yet on my like list for stuff. So
They're pretty expensive. I think it's like 5,000 Nook miles per.
I mean, you get Nook Miles so easily though when you keep on doing
That's
stuff.
so true. So true.
Well,
So
this is my first Animal Crossing game. I've always watched from afar as they dropped on GameCube and Game Boy. No, not Game Boy Advance. Was it Game Boy Advance? No, Nintendo.
I think there was one on Game Boy
no,
Advance.
there
I
was none
feel
on
like there
Game Boy
was.
Advance. That it was well, the first game came out in Japan for
Mm-hmm.
64, and then we have population growing for the GameCube. Next one was on DS. That was Wild World.
Yeah, Wild World
Yeah,
was the first one I played.
yeah. So I've seen it all, but never played it until now. And I was kind of worried before diving in because like it's pretty similar to Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, at least from my point of view. And I was kind of worried, like, oh, is this gonna be like busy work, and am I gonna be doing the same thing over and over and over again without really having a sense of enjoyment? And I started playing it, and it was like, oh, this is so calming. This music is really good, and Tom Nook is so charming as a cute character, but okay, he's kind of ripping me off, but he's still a cute character. And then I got into it, and I'm like, oh wow, I feel a rhythm building. I'm
He's
really
like,
getting into
I
this.
get it.
I
I
get it.
get it now.
I get it. I'm one of them now.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. You know, I think the biggest thing it is like there's like really relaxing farming, collecting aspect that's really similar to like Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley. But the biggest difference between it is like this game is on a 24-hour clock and it's
Yeah.
in real time versus when you're playing Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, your time is you're on a crunch and you feel like you
Yeah.
have to pack in and make the most of your day. But like this, it's a little lax. Like I could go
Oh.
spend 3 hours and go fishing. If you spent 3 hours real time in Stardew Valley, what is that, like a day or two? So you don't have that time.
And
I'm kind of annoyed by that though, cause do you know if there's a way you can expand the store's hours? Cause like, it's only 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and so I'll be fishing and stuff and like, okay, time to go to the store, and it just closed
Oh,
because
I
it's 10, and
know.
I'm
I
like,
know it's a bummer.
no.
It is a bummer. I don't know yet if there's a way to do that. There's in New Leaf, there's like several town ordinances that you can implement, and one of them is like
Yeah.
that. Like I think it's like the night owl ordinance, so you can have things
Yeah, I
open a
remember
little
that.
bit longer.
Yeah, I did that.
I always did the perfect town and just like made sure that I didn't have weeds pop up. So if I did leave the game for a couple months, I could come back and there wouldn't be weeds or cockroaches in my house. And
Yeah.
so that was always where my
Yeah.
priority lies. But I don't know. I haven't seen it happen yet in the game, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it. But I also feel it because last night I was hunting for spiders because tarantulas are worth 12,000 bells. So I was farming a full rucksack of them, and I was ready to sell them. But then my shop was closed at 10 o'clock. So I guess it's also kind of motivating to expand your horizons and go and make friends with people who are in different time zones too. So I was able to go to somebody else's town and sell all of my spiders there and turn a profit.
I also kind of feel like this is doing what mobile games want to do, where you check in
Wait,
daily,
hold
do
on.
your stuff.
Can I get a clarification on something real quick?
Sure.
Sure.
Wait, so you can sell stuff in other people's towns?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can.
Okay, because I thought you couldn't. Because I heard you couldn't. Because I was hearing about all the online stuff you couldn't do. So, okay, that's good to know.
No, you can,
Okay.
and you can go to their shops too and go buy things that they have available as well. The one thing that you can't do in other people's towns, which is kind of annoying, is that you can't
Yeah.
put fish on the ground. So like, and you
Yeah.
can't mail fish. So if I caught, there's a couple of
And there's
fish
no
that are
trade
pretty
function.
rare. Yeah, and you can't trade them. So like, I caught one fish that my friend was looking for, and then they caught the oarfish, and I was looking for the oarfish for the longest time. And we're like, well, it's perfect. Let's just trade. But we couldn't. We couldn't find a workaround.
Nope.
So you know what? That's fine. I gave one to the museum, and then the other one I sold, and I got a lot of bells for it. But that's like my one thing. I was kind of like, oh, okay. So because you can't decorate. That's what it's considered when you're putting a fish on the lawn. It's considered a decoration.
Ah.
Isn't that interesting? Like,
Okay.
you can't
Oh, because
decorate.
it's in the tank. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you can't decorate while you have guests in your town. That's what it tells you.
Huh.
Well,
It's-
it's
Wait, but can you leave it there and then they can? Oh no, but they wouldn't be able to pick it up because it would be. They wouldn't be able to pick it up if you just left it there while they weren't there. So yeah, that's weird.
I wonder if you can pick it up though. No, maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Actually, I don't think there's a workaround for it. I have seen some pretty interesting things that people are doing. People are creating like a fencing spot and then dropping items there for like a free like pickup section for people to visit their
Yeah, I've
islands.
seen that.
It's really nice. I think you linked it in one of the articles here. I set up an Animal Crossing swap shop, and now we're helping defeat Tom Nook.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's so nice, though. I like that a lot. I've been to a couple of islands where they've had something like that. So when I go to islands, I always make sure that I have something to give back. To do like a little trade or something. Or what's nice in this game is that you can actually go straight to your shop and you can purchase something, and you can make the option either give it to yourself or send it to a friend, and you can write them a letter. So if you're connected to Wi-Fi, it'll send it right to them.
oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
so it's like instant messaging, and you can give each other letters and items too.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah. So Errol, if you
Arm-
need glasses, I just bought a couple of pairs.
No, I have glasses.
Oh, good.
I need a lot of bamboo shoots because they don't give you a lot when you go to those islands.
Oh yeah, no. You can also, if you eat a fruit, you can uproot an entire bamboo tree, and you can just replant it.
Oh, okay. Okay,
just
I
make
didn't
sure that
realize
before
that
you go on
because
the
when I was
islands-
chopping them down, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, you just get like.
'Cause I'm trying to
lumber.
get. I'm also trying to get a bunch of well, coconuts. Since I have a bunch of coconut trees already, I'm trying to fill like the not the entire beach with coconut trees, but like the border of the beach with coconut trees.
Oh nice.
But then I realized you can't really plant that many coconut trees next to each other, so it's like every other one is growing,
Oh.
and then the other one, the ones are
Oh, are they
the others
dying?
are stuck. No, they're just stuck.
Oh.
They just don't grow because they can't, because it would like mess up how the screen is.
Oh, that makes
Or at
sense.
least
That
I
makes sense.
assume that's what's going. Yeah, at least I assume that's what's going on. Because when I do it like a space away from each other, they're not. I don't have that issue.
Yeah, trees need a space in between them to grow.
Yeah. And I only have like 3 different fruits right now too. No, not counting coconuts. Cause I have coconuts, cherries, apples, and oranges right
Oh,
now.
nice. Well, I have peaches if you want some.
Okay, cool.
Jason, what did
I
you
wish
start
I had
with?
I wish I had bananas.
I'm so early on in the game. I have no idea what all the fruit stuff is. So I've seen apples.
Nice. That's what you
Okay,
have
so you
on your
got
island?
apples on your island. Cool.
Yeah, that's what I started with. So I'm guessing that's the thing.
Nice. Yep, that's your town
Yeah.
fruit.
Okay.
Do you remember what your town flower is?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I
You'll
think.
start to see them later because most of the flowers they end up growing like on the second and third levels in your town.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
once you
that
get
far yet.
across the level. Okay, cool. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you. I think honestly, I think that New Horizons is like the perfect Animal Crossing game for somebody who hasn't played an Animal Crossing game before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really feels like very user friendly.
It's very
This
accessible and it's not forcing you to do a whole lot. And as I was saying
Mhm.
earlier, it's kind of like the thing that mobile games have wanted to do for so long, of having you log in every day and cross off a few boxes and go back on your merry way.
Mm-hmm.
You can just do a few things every day and then that's it. No pressure to keep going and grinding. There's no race, there's no boss to defeat. It's just you on your island,
Well, except Tom
trying to
Nook.
make friends and live a happy life.
It's so true. It's so true. I love that because I was telling you guys on my first town, I
Hmm.
played, well, on my Animal Crossing New Leaf file, we took time right before New Horizons came out and I wrote letters to every single one of my characters. And I
No.
like thanked them for my time with them. It was really cute and really kind of sad. But like you really do, like, I don't know, you start to like get
Feel a sense of attachment to them.
you really do. My first
Yeah.
town, my favorite villager ever. Her name is Pom Pom.
Yeah.
She ended up moving. My friend Melanie, she got her to move over to her town. She caught
Uh-huh.
her when she was in boxes. So like they'll actually pack up their house,
Oh
and
wow.
all their stuff will be in cardboard
I would.
boxes. And they'll be like, "Well, I'm going on for my new adventure." She'd be like, "Don't leave," but when they're in boxes, it's too late. So Melanie took her.
Yeah,
She
I
was at her
was
house, and I used to
so
visit her a
sad.
lot. You ever
I
said you've
was
lost a villager too?
Yeah, I was so sad when Pico left. She was my favorite. Pico the polar bear. I think she's
Oh,
a
wait,
polar
Pico
or
the polar.
not polar bear.
She's like the little
Not
bear,
she's a
right?
bear. She's some kind of bear.
Yeah, she's so stinking cute.
And I was like, no. I think it was just because I hadn't played New Leaf for a while,
Yep,
and she
that's
left.
exactly it. If you neglect them, they'll leave you.
Um,
Just like in real life. Oh my god.
Oh no! It's true.
I also think you get the ladder. You get the ladder a little later than I would have liked. I wish you could have gotten the ladder sooner in the game.
That's fair. That's fair. I know I have a couple of friends who like actually were gifted the ladder by other
Oh
friends,
yeah,
so they had it like their first day
yeah.
and they were ready to go and explore.
Ugh. So I wanted to get to some. We have 3 questions here, so I wanted to move on to those.
Hmm.
Um, so from John, the boss man over at Parallax, we have what is your favorite part slash aspect of Animal Crossing? That's a hard question, but I think we already covered it.
Yeah, mostly. For me, it's the low stakes that I can just
Hmm.
chill out. I don't have to rush. I don't have to grind. I can just exist in another place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so comforting and calming, and I just love it.
What about you, Errol?
Uh, I don't know if I could say it better than Jason, but that's pretty much the same thing. I also just like I like being able to work on like a house and decorate it and like just all the customization that comes with that. Like there's just especially like, yeah, character customization is great, but the house, you just have so many options, and you just unlock more, and then you get a bigger house, and then you have more rooms, so you could have different themed rooms, and like in New Leaf, I basically had like a video game themed basement, so I had the Mario wallpaper and the Yoshi egg and the flagpole and the bricks.
That's
So I just like how you can like do so much stuff with your house, because in other games it's kind of like, here's your house, you can like change the color of it.
Yeah,
um
that's
what
true.
about
but there's just like,
I had the same thing in my New Leaf town. I had like a whole game room too. And I love it because I'm such a
yeah,
Nintendo fangirl. So it was cool getting like all those like Nintendo items and things that I'm like, I really wish that I had this in real life. Like they had a bench chair that was like, it was made out of a 3DS. And I would love
Oh,
to
oh my
sit on
god.
that in real life. Right? Isn't that
do you
cool?
do you miss the Nintendo games that you could play on the GameCube one?
console in the game?
Yeah, the console in the game. In the first Animal Crossing, did you ever have
Oh,
that?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like do I miss the games that I could play on the consoles in the game?
Just missing being able to do that.
So
Yeah.
kind of hard. I hope that they implement that again. I was actually really hoping that because at the very beginning of New Horizons, sorry, spoilers if anybody hasn't played this yet, but you get in the mail, you get a Switch. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and what was extra special was that I got the Animal Crossing Switch edition, so I actually got that one in the mail.
Yeah,
So
anyone
Mm.
it's
that has the physical edition of the Animal Crossing Switch gets the same one in the game.
It's those little details that make Nintendo games so magical. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Sword and Shield, if you noticed in your bedroom, every Pokemon game you start out in your bedroom and you have a TV
Mhm.
there with like the most latest console. They
Hmm.
had a Switch
Yeah.
there, and depending on what color your Joy-Cons were, it reflected in the game. And we
Yeah,
tested
but
it with
did you
my.
notice it didn't say Switch?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it said it's the latest game console. It didn't say it's a Nintendo Switch like it
Oh, that's
usually would.
funny. That's really funny.
Yeah.
But it definitely, the Joy-Cons changed color and they reflected with the Animal Crossing ones too. So we tested it out and it still had those colors too. I was pretty excited about it.
Cool.
But I think for Animal Crossing, what my favorite aspect of it is probably the community. And I mean that with me and the villagers in the game, but I also
Mm-hmm.
mean that with me and the rest of the fandom. I've never been a part of a more positive, encouraging fandom like Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is just, it's a bunch of really creative people who just want to, relax and play this game and spend time with their villagers. And, everybody kind of plays it differently. There are people in the fandom who, like to take it at their own pace and like have their set routine. And there are people who are really into decorating. There are people who time travel. There are people who, moving on to like our last question here at the bottom, Socialist Kirby asked us, what are your thoughts on glitches and hacks? And that's been a big part of the Animal Crossing community. There are people who are really into that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a multifaceted community, and everybody finds their niche and the things that they really like to do.
Yeah. It doesn't have to devolve into Time Lords versus humans.
No, that's actually been the first instance of negativity that I've seen
Yeah.
in this community, and that's been as of late, and it's kind of been weighing on my heart a little bit. Is I don't
Yeah.
feel like that there should be a divide. I think it should be a respectful conversation. Like, you're playing that game, that's your experience. I hope that you have the most fun that
Yeah.
you can in the way that you have the most fun doing it. It's your game. You spent $60 plus whatever it costs for that console, and your
Yeah.
gameplay doesn't affect somebody else's.
Exactly. It's not Dark
Yeah.
Souls, so you
No.
can calm
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's the only negative thing I've ever experienced with this community, and I think it's just a bummer. But for the rest of the community, I think it speaks really well that everyone is so patient. I think that's one thing, was that when the game was delayed, sure, we were a little bit like, oh, it's a bummer. I was really looking forward to it. But at the same time, we understand, like, those workers, like, they're not getting overworked. They're going to take their time. This game is going to be amazing. And oh my gosh,
Like-
is it amazing?
Of course, it would be the Animal Crossing fans that understand about patience, because a lot of it is waiting.
Yes, absolutely. That's so true too. That's so true too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's so good. I love that. I love it so much. I'm really enjoying this game. I don't feel like I'm running out of things to do either, especially with the implementation of the Nook Miles, because there's always constantly small
Especially because
challenges that you can keep
you also
doing.
time traveled 2 days.
What was that?
You also time traveled 2 days.
I did. I am a time traveler. I am a time lord. I don't have a TARDIS, but
Aw.
I know it's unfortunate. Although I did see that you can order a police box, so I'm pretty excited about
I'm
this.
so getting on that.
Oh, absolutely right. So that's pretty exciting. So maybe hello, Time Lords confirmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. So my thoughts on glitches and hacks. That's what Kirby asked. Is it okay for them to be exploited and under what circumstance? Ooh.
Oh, did we already answer the? It
The
kind of
second-
cut
I
out for me.
skipped.
Did we?
The second one.
We didn't.
We
Oh,
skipped.
oh, okay. I was just checking. Okay, yeah, we can do the other one first then. Yeah.
What do you guys think about glitches and hacks?
I mean, is it just time traveling? Is the thing they're referring to?
Well, actually, so in previous Animal Crossing games, there actually glitches and hacks have been kind of a big part about the Animal Crossing community. Some part of it, I'm trying to tell you, there's so many facets of this community. Not everyone creates like hacks their game and does things, but there are people who get really creative in their game files and like upload it, work on their town on their computer, and put it back onto their game file to like really tweak it and make it the way that they want it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think glitches are like kind of an important part of all these games. I don't know, especially like somebody who watches speedruns. You wouldn't have speedruns if you didn't have people who manipulated and use those glitches. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think it's like a negative thing to have these things. You know, people are creative and they're doing what they want with their games. And at the end of the day, it's them, it's their game experience, and it's not impacting other people.
Yeah. I mean, once you release a game, or any art for that matter, whatever the public does with it is up to them. You can't dictate really what they're supposed to do. I mean, you could, but they're not gonna listen to you and
It's
just
true.
go about it their own way. So I appreciate that the creators are mostly chill about it. I mean, ideally they'd like you to play it as intended, but they're not gonna stop you from going out of bounds every now and then.
Sure. No, that's very true.
Yeah.
I think there are different ways to express yourself creatively, especially in this game. Like I've really been having a lot of fun with this like character design aspect. You can customize your clothing, which oh gosh, I was telling you about this earlier, is I've been having a lot of fun creating cosplay and like recreating anime outfits and costumes.
Yeah, I
So
saw that.
Actually, in my community, we're gonna do an in-game anime convention next Friday. Pardon me, goodness. We're gonna do an in-game anime convention next Friday. A lot to offset like the fact that we can't leave our homes right now. Everyone's quarantined. Everyone's been watching a whole lot of anime on their quarantine.
And a bunch of conventions are canceled.
It's so
Yeah.
true. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good alternative and keep everybody
Yeah,
safe and at
exactly.
home.
Yeah.
All right.
So you guys are
Should we get to?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I might.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to do
Uh,
your Zoro cosplay.
Yeah. So Andy, it was like somebody named Andy Panda, who I think is a villager themselves, from that name alone.
Mm-hmm.
Asked who was our favorite villager to interact with. Well, I don't have one in New Horizons right now. I guess maybe Axel, just because he was one of my first. Who did I get? I got Axel the elephant and Renee the horse as my first two neighbors. So Axel is my favorite to interact with.
Did you say you
In
got
New
Axel
Horizons.
and Renee?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Renee is so good. First off, she's a horse, and her name is Renee. Please, girl after my own heart.
They just come
Yeah.
with all those puns.
I know, it's amazing. That's
So
one of my favorite parts about Animal Crossing is the dialogue is
so like
incredible.
right now, Axel is my favorite there, but as I said before, my favorite in New Leaf was probably Pico.
Oh, Pico. Do you have a favorite NPC? I mean, besides like the villagers, but like a staple character
Rossetti.
like Rossetti.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Probably
Wow.
he? I heard he wasn't in this game or something.
you what?
Like I heard he wasn't in this game at all or something.
He's not really in the game.
He is. Kind of. We haven't actually like
Yeah, kind
seen
of.
him. So there's an aspect. It's like a rescue service. So if like
Oh,
if you get
right.
abandoned on an island or something and you can't get back, so I think this is so they give you Blathers gives you like a pole that you use to get across the river. I think because you get a recipe for it. I bet if you use it too much, it's gonna break. So if you get stranded over there, I think that's when you would call in the rescue services.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And you don't ever
Yeah.
explicitly see it, but the music that plays when you call, it's Rossetti's theme song.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
What and Captain's not in it anymore either, right?
I haven't seen Cap'n yet.
But as far as NPCs goes, I also like the Dodo brothers.
Oh yeah, they're great. Oh, they're so funny. I love everything that they say to each other. Wow, they have like
But my question is, how does the one in the airport type?
oh, his little wings are just kind of flapping about. Oh, I love watching him.
And he
do
doesn't
that.
even
It's
touch
so
the
cute.
keyboard either.
Yes, no, not even. He's not even close. He's not even close at all. Oh, that's
It
so
reminds
great.
me kind of like in Kingdom Hearts 2 when Sora types. Have you ever seen
Yes.
that one cutscene where he's just like,
Yep. And this novel. Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. What about you, Jason? Who's your favorite so far?
I'm too new, too inexperienced to have an opinion on all of this. Like,
Have you
Wait.
just met Tom Nook and Timmy and Tommy so far?
yeah. So I just literally just started it, so I don't really know anyone. So oh, there's this duck, with the puns about fitness and exercise.
oh, you got a fitness duck?
Oh,
'Cause I
Yeah.
have the fitness elephant. I have the fitness elephant.
Oh yeah, everybody starts with the same types of villagers. So
Yeah,
they're
so-
like different personality types, and everybody starts out with an Uchi villager and then the Jock villager.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, so far only those are the ones I've encountered, so I can't really say who's my favorite.
Do you
I
know
also
what I mean?
have
No, I have no idea. So I'm
What?
pretty sure I'll get to know them the more I play.
Oh yeah, they'll be your buddies.
I also have Patty the cow and hamster. I forgot what the hamster I have, what his name is. And then Ellie the elephant is supposed to be moving in too.
Oh, you got a bunch of cute
Uh.
villagers moving in.
Yeah. What is with the hate train on Timmy and Tommy that I've seen lately?
Wait, what? Who's hating on Timmy
There's
and Tommy?
like
Tell
on
me.
Twitter, I see people. I don't know if it's Timmy or Tommy if it's one of them specifically, but I see some weird hate train on Twitter for one or both of them. It's really weird.
Nuh-uh, give me their username. I'll talk some sense into them.
Oh, it's a bunch of no. It's
Remember when I
multiple
said there's
people I've
no
seen.
negativity in Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Don't talk bad
I
about
think
my
they're just
boys.
joking. I think they're just joking, and it's just a replacement for since people have realized that Tom Nook isn't that bad of a guy. It's just kind of a joke replacement.
Oh, that's funny. Oh no, they're so sweet. I love them. I don't know what their problem is.
Yeah, they're doing nothing wrong.
No,
I
they're
think it's just a joke. It's just a joke. It's not like a serious thing, but like
good.
I don't know.
That's so sad.
Oh, they're sweet beans. I think one of my favorite NPCs. Oh gosh, I love them all. I love them all so much. But I've been loving Blathers like even more so far. He's the owl and he runs the museum. And his
Yeah.
dialogue in New Horizons is just so precious to me. And it's extra funny because he hates bugs like so much. So I always like listening to his descriptions because he gets really excited about it when you give him fossils. But when you give him a bug, he's so reluctant to talk to you about it. He just wants to get rid of it so quickly. So I never have him tell me about bugs. I'm always just like, it's okay, Sweet Bean. Just take the bug and run. It's fine. We don't need to talk about it.
I saw.
But when he talks about...
So considerate.
I feel so bad.
I saw
He's
his
so frazzled.
I saw his sister last night for the first time. Celeste, right?
Oh, Celeste, yes.
I saw her for the first time last night.
Oh, I love her.
I was like, oh, there you are. I was wondering. And you show up.
Celeste had such a good role in Wild World. Because she had her observatory, and I really miss that.
Oh,
I
right.
hope that we see more from her in this game. So
Now,
far, I've heard you don't see
do you
too
miss,
much.
I see people missing that some of the villagers used to be meaner to you, and some people miss that.
Oh, sorry, you're kind of cutting out. Are you talking about the villagers being mean?
Yeah, some people miss the villagers being meaner.
Oh, look, I'm not going to lie. I did kind of enjoy that aspect. It's just extra funny and also makes me feel a little less bad when I put a bunch of pitfalls around your house and try to kick you out of my town.
Wow.
Look.
That got dark.
Okay. Although I'm not going to lie, I think that in this aspect, in this game, so far, I've been able to choose where each of the villagers lives, which is really nice. Because in New Leaf, villagers would just appear randomly and they would just move in without notice. You would kind of have an idea that they were going to, though. You would get like their plot and it would have their name on it. But the location of it, no, unless you are... There's ways to like choose where you want them, but if you weren't doing that, they would move like right on top of your flowers. And I had Marcel move on top of my flowers, and I will always hold this grudge over him. I can't get over it. They're beautiful.
Who was Marcel?
Marcel is like
Which
a
one is
dog. He has
Marcel?
kind of like a clown face.
Oh, okay. Oh God.
A lot of people really like Marcel, though. I feel like I've mentioned it on stream before, and people are like very upset that I'm not a fan of Marcel. But it's like, it's not him, it's me, okay? It's just... So I guess he's my least favorite villager to interact with. My favorite villager, though, is Pom Pom. She's a little duck, and she's fantastic. She wants to be a pop star. She's super fabulous.
Oh, that's
she's very bubbly. She's very silly, and she was one of my first villagers when I started playing New Leaf, and she's just stuck with me.
That's
she's
what
one of my favorites.
Patty the cow is the pop star for me.
Oh, I love that. I love that attitude. It's so funny.
She's like, I need to expand my brand here.
Does she call you like her fan and stuff?
Probably. I only talked to her like once because she just moved in. So.
Oh, get ready for it. They're great. They're very fabulous. Jason, I'm so excited for you to learn more and see all the characters.
I have a whole journey ahead of me.
You do?
Yeah.
So many new horizons to see.
Yeah.
That pun will never get old. Honestly, it's about time for me to just turn over a new leaf.
Yeah. Oh. Ouch. Never stop. Never stop.
I can't.
Yeah, it's quite a wild world out there right now.
I'm so proud of you. I think we've Animal Crossed the line, you guys.
Yeah. This happens when city folk are quarantined.
Oh my god. Yes.
Okay.
That's so good. So good.
Something Amiibo Festival. I don't know.
Ooh, we don't talk about.
Yeah, I just got cursed by saying it.
Oh no!
Stay with us. Stay with us. Yeah.
I'm really excited to see you guys explore more and play the game. I'm really loving it, and I've put in way too many hours so far, and I know I'm gonna put far more in the future.
Yeah, we'll definitely rely on your knowledge once we get stuck, or if we need any advice. I know I definitely will, because I know absolutely nothing about this world. So
oh gosh, if you have any...
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, I got you. I think my biggest advice starting out the game right now is just, oh gosh, hang on to everything. Almost everything can be used for crafting. Even the weeds, you're gonna use them for crafting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw.
Um,
You have to use them for required stuff, yeah.
if you get foreign fruit, plant it first and be patient. More fruit will come, and then you can sell it. But try to build up your orchard. I think that's really good advice as well.
Yeah.
It's like
If you
actual
have
lessons.
Yeah,
if you have like
exactly.
a clip, if you have a
Invest. You can actually get interest if you put your money in the bank, and you can actually turn a profit.
Ooh.
So I'm talking about passive income, you guys. So make money while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
there
It's good.
Capitalism.
Yay,
I put a
capitalism.
like on one of the so my island I chose the one with like the format with like the one long river and then the that doesn't like really split. And then I have like two cliffs, two hills in the back. So and one of those hills is my fruit orchard and it's like fenced off so nobody steals my fruit.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cool. You're ready. I always tell people they can take my fruit because it's just gonna come back.
I mean, yeah, if I have friends over and they need a fruit, yeah, but like I put a like I planned a thing out instead of just putting fruit everywhere.
If you like the look of the fruit, if that's like just part of your aesthetic, you can put a fence around your trees and nobody can take it.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Good tips.
Got you.
It's true. And I just started growing a money tree.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jason, if you see the glowing spot in the ground, dig it, leave the
Yeah.
hole open. You're going to get some money. Replant it.
Okay.
It's
Or
back
no,
from
don't just-
population. Huh?
It depends on how much it is, right? Because you can get the trees of either 1,000 or 10,000.
You're cutting out pretty bad, sorry.
I don't know. I'll just look it up and I'll be sure.
Yeah.
Not immediately.
IGN has a good
Actually-
guide on it.
Yeah.
It's okay. You get one glowing spot every day, so just go ahead and plant it and be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super nice. Also, don't eat a ton of your fruit. Eat one fruit at a time. And don't
Or else
eat a
it'll be too
fruit-
strong.
Yeah, don't eat a fruit and destroy your rocks.
It's just like such motherly advice. Don't overeat.
Yeah.
You'll spoil your dinner.
Yeah, there you go. Don't eat too much fruit.
Well, no, don't eat too much fruit or it'll give you superpowers.
Oh wow.
It's true. Yeah, you can destroy things. You can uproot trees and you can destroy rocks. That's pretty cool. It's so cool. That's a new aspect to this game, and I really like it. I like
Oh,
how
wow.
you can uproot a whole tree, though, and put it in your inventory, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. Overall, I really am enjoying this game, and I'm really excited. I'm excited to see all the new DLC coming out. I'm excited for the events.
Yeah.
I love Leaf. I'm really excited to see him come out for Earth Day events. I think that's cool. It's
Yeah.
going to be
I just
spoiler free, and everyone can experience it together.
I really wish the online functionality was a bit better.
What about the online functionality?
I wish it was better.
You know, I think that they're probably gonna have to include more things. Like, I really liked in New Leaf that you could do, like, the island games had like those competitions and mini games. I had people
Yeah.
come over for my stream and we all played hide and go seek together. So I set up a timer and I gave them a minute to go hide anywhere on the island. The rules were you need to stay put because they can watch where I'm running. And then once they're found, they need to return to the plaza. So I gave myself 10 minutes to run across the island and try to find everybody. And that was super fun. It was actually pretty challenging. So that's a good way to play with your friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
But I haven't seen any other mini games and stuff. I hope that that's something that they add later into the game. Or maybe we're going to unlock
I saw-
Cap'n. Who knows?
I saw YouTuber Rogers Base. He uploaded a clip where he pole vaulted in. He was playing with 7 other people. He pole vaulted across the river directly into a hole, and then the other 7 people went towards him and started hitting him with bug nets.
No! Got him. I definitely did that the other day. I pole vaulted and landed into a hole. I didn't
Ouch.
even think about it. I totally forgot about it. So I'm like squirming. I haven't encountered a pitfall yet. So that's something.
Yeah, neither have I.
I wonder if they're in the game still.
I guess we'll see. Maybe April Fool's Day event.
Oh, maybe.
I don't
Maybe
know if
that
they
will
do
be like a
that.
practical joke or something. I don't know. Well, you guys, I think we'll have to touch base as
Yeah.
more things have happened and we've talked more about the game and stuff, because I feel like we're all so still new to this.
Yeah.
I have
And you're the most ahead of all of us.
I time traveled a little bit. I did. I also played like many, many hours. I think I put
Yeah, that's true.
13 hours into the first day.
I mean, you also are streaming it, so.
This is true. This is true. And then I play it on my off time. I just don't sleep. Who needs sleep when you have Animal
So,
Crossing?
yeah. Yeah, so we're clocking in at about 3 hours now, probably our longest podcast ever. Woo. But so we're gonna sign off for now, and Nicole, thank you for coming on.
Hey, thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
we
This is a
will-
blast.
Yeah.
It was such a
We'll have to do it again sometime. And for now, that's all
We're
for now.
signing-
We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're signing off. We'll see you guys next time.
next time. Bye.
Bye. I think you guys need like a closing slogan. We'll wing it. It's fine.